What's up, YouTube and the TLP family, man? What up? Happy New Year's! Happy New Year's! TLP, what up, kids? What up, grown folk? What up, everybody? We still here. We're live. We're live and we are in effect. What up, people? It's been a minute. But some of y'all know and some of y'all don't know why it's been a minute, because I ain't working for free. That's what I said. So you might see me post some things, but you know what I'm saying? The workload has to kind of decrease a little bit because I ain't working for nobody for free. If you didn't know, YouTube demonetized me. I'm supposed to be the best dad in the world, and they demonetized me. So I got a time period to wait until I get back to monetization. Hopefully they allow me to get monetized again. They're saying that I'm not the one creating my videos. I follow the rules as much as I knew how to follow the rules, but for whatever reason, they're like, oh, you got 3 months to wait. And I'm going to appeal to you, YouTube. Let me just tell y'all this. When you got content creators out here that are dependent upon this, this is your policy, y'all got to fix this, YouTube. When people are making a living with you and you are a business partner, you got to do more communication, YouTube. And I'm appealing to you, YouTube, because something got to happen. If this is my job and something happens, give me a heads up. Like, hey, man, I'm seeing you post a lot of videos without commentary or X, Y, and Z. You should, before we take such vast and drastic actions, this is what you should do so that we don't have to get to that point. Because if I was dependent upon this for my living and taking care of my family, YouTube, and then you just out of the blue with no warning or anything like that, just cut the legs from under me, you know what I'm saying? And then we're not appealing to anybody who understands the language that we speak, right? It's just some algorithm or somebody in the Philippines or Indonesia somewhere that don't understand what we're doing. And then we make videos. You say, oh, this is an appeal board, appeal to them. And we pour our hearts out. And then you say, hey, man, that ain't enough. And then you give somebody 3 months to get back to their living and you take all of their income. YouTube, you got to do better. You got to do better, YouTube. And at the point, I don't really care if you take everything away from me, but I'm just saying you got to do better, YouTube. You've got to do better, YouTube. There has to be a way where we're doing business with you, YouTube, where you are just as attentive to our needs as we are to helping you to make a gazillion dollars off of advertisements of our content. We work very hard to build our platforms that we're on, to build our community. You help us to find the people that are in our communities, and then with no warning, you take it all away. If this was my only form of income, and you do that, and then you say, well, I'm not going to give you anything. We're not going to work it out. There's no customer service I can call. Ain't nobody I can talk to. No human being I can talk to. I hope you understand, YouTube, how hard that is for somebody who depends on YouTube income 100%. You got to do better, YouTube. You definitely got to do better. So you saying I got 3 months to come back and try again to get monetized? There has to be a way for us to figure this out in a much faster way. Because if I'm dependent upon this for my income, which I'm not, praise God, thank God that I'm not dependent upon this for all of my income to feed my family. Because if you got out of work for 3 months and there was nobody to talk to, no customer service, you can imagine how this would be. So YouTube, I don't know what kind of business thing you got going on, and you don't have no real office hours or nobody to talk to, and people are out here creating content dependent upon this income. And this is how you do business. You got to do better, YouTube. You got to do better. All right? There has to be a faster way to get our channels back up and running. I don't depend on this 100%, but I like the fact that I can make some money with you. You feel what I'm saying? Let me get to my business. Let's go. What up, people? Happy New Year's, man. Hey, man, thank you for all of my loyal friends, family, TLP family that's still rocking with me. I know y'all haven't seen me post, but that whole rant that I just went through talking to YouTube, that's the reason. Because I'm a businessman. I'm not the one to be working for free, because you know that before you get monetized, you got months and maybe years to work for free, right? While they're making money off of you and the content that you're posting, you got to get watch hours and you got to get 1,000 subscribers, right? So they start making money off of you way before you can enjoy that money with them. And then after, you see what I'm saying? If they just decide to just cancel you, you still posting, but they'll be making money off of you for 3 months while they decide, oh yeah, we're going to punish you for 3 months and you're not going to make no money, but we'll continue to make advertising money and you just continue to make content. And that ain't how my brain is wired. I'm not working for YouTube for free. I ain't doing it. So I'm here because I know that I have a community. I have people who this is a way for us to communicate. This is a they're like, hey man, that dude, he crazy. But there ain't no community like the TLP Sports Club community. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to punish you like the way that YouTube is trying to punish me. I'm gonna have to like Wild Dog always says, hey man, look, just put the cameras on and just walk away and we'll do the rest. So I gotta put these cameras on. We gotta have talks because there's so much going on. The transfer portal apparently opens up today. It's been a lot of Buff news. It's been a lot of movement in the Colorado system. And y'all know that I'm not just a Colorado fan anymore. Maybe some of y'all didn't pay attention, but I barely created content for Colorado last year, 2025. All right. I've been trying to detach myself away from Colorado for a minute. All right. And I told y'all that the Indiana Hoosiers in 2024, I think it was 2023 when he came on and saying that he was the announcer or the reporter said some, and he said, Google me. Since that day, I've been told y'all that I was an Indiana fan. So if y'all see the thumbnail, Michael Jackson from Gary, Indiana, and Kirk Cignetti, being the Indiana coach, Gary actually has one of the universities that's in the Indiana University system. I think it's the Western campus that's in Gary, right? So if you know anything about the Jackson 5, Michael Jackson, Indiana, that's where that comes from, all right? I'm just a little geek when it comes to that, so I've been nerding out on stuff like that. That's why we're different here at TLP Sports Club, because we ain't got to be like you. We ain't got to be like everybody else. And we are family over here. So let's enjoy college football talk. Let's enjoy football talk. Man, I got a lot of things I want to talk about. I got a lot of things planned. I already invited some of my friends who have been on this channel. I'm sure they got stuff they want to get off their chest that they've been trying to share on other platforms, but because those platforms ain't nothing like TLP Sports Club, it just don't hit the same. You understand what I'm saying? It just don't hit the same. All right? When you discuss it here at TLP, it feels different. It means something. All right? If somebody had to work today, man, look, we're going to make your day a little brighter. We're going to make it feel a little different because TLP's live. You feel what I'm saying? Let's go, people. Let's talk about this. Dallas is in the building, people. Dallas is in the building in 2026, people. Tim Smith, what up, my guy? JR Boxing, what up, my guy? What up, homie? What up? Y'all pull up, let's talk. Colorado's losing a lot. You understand what I'm saying? But it ain't just Colorado. the whole landscape of college football is changing right in front of you. You know what I think? I've been sitting back and I've been watching these games. I'm like, I should probably go live and do some kind of commentary. But then my business mind, when it triggers, it's like, oh, bro, you're going to be doing that joint for free. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm good, right? But anyways, just forgive me. It's going to come back every now and then. I'm going to have to, like, complain a little bit. But now, man, I've been thinking, I'm like, damn, man, college football is not the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a legacy college football fan, but I've been a fair weather fan for a minute. I've been like in the background, kind of like doing like the special times. I'll turn it on. I'll see the scores. I've been watching college football for years. You know what I'm saying? Since my boy Dexter, since he put me on to Florida State, his favorite team has been Florida State since I came to the United States. So since I met him, so I've been, casually watching college football for a very, very long time. I remember Vince Young. I remember there's so many people that I remember when they were either playing college, but I didn't really follow it like I'm doing for my channel. But I tell you one thing, what I'm seeing now versus what I used to see. I don't know if I can, because I'm a supporter of the NIL, the name, image, and likeness. I am a strong supporter of NIL. Now, the way NIL is being distributed and the way that it's actually being handled, I don't know that I'm a supporter of the way that it's going. But even from the jump, when college football has so many scandals, when everything was about this scandal, because the powers that be, they have a way of trying to monopolize profit. They have a way of trying to monopolize how things go. And guess what? They're not nice about it. They were not nice about it. The way they went about it was real cocky, real arrogant. You know what I'm saying? Like when they're ready to punish these, like let me just say that thought I just had. When they get ready to punish these players and these athletes, I mean, they do it in such a vicious, venomous way that is almost like inhumane. Like they don't understand that they are just as corrupt as anything else. The college football powers that be are just those people have been corrupt for years. All right? The Alabamas, yes. The Georgias, yes. The LSUs, yes. All of them have been as corrupt as anything. There's always been money in college football, you know what I'm saying, going around. But it's been under the table forever. I told you I'm a, laissez-faire, laid back. I've been like a casual college football fan because I'm an athlete, or I was an athlete and I was in the athletic circles, running track, playing football, soccer, tennis. I did almost every sport in high school. So I was there. My brain wasn't wired in the United States athletic system, right? It wasn't wired in that way to know the business aspect of the sport. So, like, I was just talking to my boy. I was just in the DMV area, and I was just talking to my boy. Like, he was really good. He went to Wheaton, right? Wheaton High School, and he was a really good running back. And he got recruited to like Oklahoma and other places. But he confided in me. He was like, "Yo, Harry, bro," he said, even though he was here earlier before me, he said, "Yo, my parents didn't know anything about no big time college, D1 college sports." I was like, "Really, bro?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, he didn't know either. Even though I was playing sports, nobody explained this stuff to me. So we're from like Liberia. Ain't nobody telling us anything. Our parents don't know anything about D1, even though we were daggone athletic and we can outrun any cheetah in the daggone jungle. Nobody told us. This dude's running. He's like one of the best running backs in Maryland. Ain't nobody told him about D1 sports. We were talking about it and we saw them playing on TV, but nobody sat us down to explain this stuff. But we knew that there's been money in this because we will hear the scandals. We will hear about all of the crazy stuff that was going on, and we would talk about it. But the way your brain was wired, if you was born in the United States, it's not the way our brain was wired because we were not born here. I was not born here, right? And our parents were not born here. So we're in the system. We're all talking like we know what we're talking about, but half of us don't even know what we're talking about. Y'all know how D1 sports work. You work your way from like Pee-wee all the way up, and then if you get a scholarship, yada, 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 next you know, you out there. We didn't know none of that. Why am I saying all of this? I'm saying all of this because the way that college sports have the way that the sports have been, even though I didn't really understand the business side of it, the way that we talked about it when we were younger, you feel me? You see all this gray hair? It's no longer the way that it is. The sport has changed. The media is stuck on legacy. I might have to drop those videos with my boy Phil Surreal in DC when we were preseason going over the rankings, right? I may have to drop the video. But the legacy people, the legacy media, they're judging the sport based on the nostalgia of it. They're judging the sport based on what used to be. It ain't what's happening today. Because if you look at the rankings, the way that they're ranked, the AP ranking, the top 25 rankings, it ain't the same. If you look at how, like, bro, look around. Georgia's out of it. LSU won. Alabama got the smack. They only scored 3 points. Alabama only scored 3 points, bro. You understand what I'm saying? They out of it. Oregon is a fraud. Okay, I don't know if you think because they beat Texas Tech. Oregon is a fraud. The reason why I said Oregon is a fraud is because they're always right there, right? But they are not it. Okay, now Texas Tech is much of a biggest fraud as anybody could be. And number 4. In January, we're looking at Texas Tech like, what the heck is this? When I'm watching January football, I don't want to see no lopsidedness. Now, I'm just gonna let you know the Alabama game was not supposed to be like that. But you saw the flaws, right? You saw the flaws. I mean, we didn't talk about it here because I'm not working for free, like I told you. But you saw the flaws. I'll give you some Dan Lanning's flaws. Secondary sucks. If Texas Tech had an offense, they had an opportunity to win that game. So, and I told my boys in the background when we talk about the games, I told them, I said, look, Oregon is a fraud. You know their flaws. Texas Tech defense played well. They just had no offense to move that ball. It was like 6 until like the game was almost over. Then they scored some touchdowns. So now imagine Oregon meets Indiana again. My guy from, my Michael Jackson guy, right? And Google me Kirk Cinetti. It's going to be a problem. If they meet anybody else, unless their January football is just out of this world, they're not moving. They're not going nowhere else. They just got lucky that they got Texas Tech. I knew they were a fraud on that level. But I predicted for them to be the best in the Big 12. And the Big 12 is not looking too bad if you ask me. But college football is not the same anymore, guys. The money is ruining college football. The money's doing a whole lot to college football. Let me take that last statement back. The money is not ruining college football. The money is making the product better, but it's going to be very hard for you to notice that it's making it better, because the legacy media, the way that they're trying to paint the sport is to keep the nostalgia, keep the blue bloods, to keep. They're trying to let you know that the way when people used to sneak money under the table and keep those programs the best for years, even though now it's all blown up, they're trying to still keep that mentality, but it's all blowing up right in front of your face. Again, there is no Alabama. There is no Georgia. LSU have, sorry, Tim, LSU stinks. Tim, close your ears. Close your ears real quick, Tim. LSU stinks. There's no LSU. All right? Ohio State is gone. Fraud. Look, I'm telling you, all of the blue bloods, all of the big programs that are known to be around this time of year, all gone. They're all gone. Okay? And that's due to the sport getting better. Now, you can't tell me, I mean, obviously, if you ask one of these, these guys that's been around forever, that understood the sport when they was in diapers, you know what I'm saying? They understood the business side of it and understood the fanatic side of it. If you ask them, they'll say, oh, no, the sport is, they're ruining the sport the way that we've seen it. But it's not ruining the sport. It's making it better. It's making it better. You'll realize it because now we're pulling the curtain back and we're letting you know that, the system is letting you know that it's correcting. It's correcting in a very poetic way. How it's correcting in the eyes of the fans, it's going to be, it's looking weird, but the talent, the way that the way that the talent is spreading out is becoming more even, right? And now you're going to have to coach and you're going to have to recruit. All right? And recruiting now has different levels to it. You got to recruit your own players. And then you got to go outside. You got to recruit outside, whether it's high school or through the portal. You're going to have to know how to navigate the portal because a lot of teams, right? A lot of teams are not, the way that they perceive the portal, it was in a kind of a work way. Nick Saban is gone. He may mention that the way that the sport, like maybe he's a Jedi, you know what I'm saying? But the way that he saw things happening, and I'm sure it's probably because he's privy to information that a lot of us are not, because he's Nick Saban, but he saw certain things and he was like, oh no, I'm up out of here. What he saw, we're starting to see that the portal system is balancing things out. So now here we are where instead of harvesting and harnessing all of the talent and putting them in just the blue bloods or just those specific programs, the talent is realizing I ain't got to be here. So Miami in the ACC is becoming a one-stop university. You see what I'm saying? You get a Cam Ward that goes there 1 year, goes number one. And they missed the playoff by just a little bit. Then you get a back from Georgia. He goes there. They got one of the best defenses in the country. And what's happening? They are right there in the midst of things. Because what's happening with Miami? This is the thing that people don't understand about Miami, and this is what's happened to the Josh Pates and the legacy media. The people that still have the nostalgia of the college sports, it's messing them up their whole heads. They don't even understand. The whole thing is messing them up their whole heads, and they don't even know. They're fumbling. They at their desks with their legacy Fox Media and the ESPNs, and they're all over the place, and they're like, they don't understand what's happening. They're fumbling all over the place because they're still thinking about the nostalgia of the old system. The old system is gone. It's gone, people. It's no more. All right. LSU. I mean, not, well, yeah, LSU. Is it not LSU? Ole Miss. I think I've been missing. I think I've been messing. I've been speaking. Not the. I've been saying the wrong thing, and I didn't even realize it. Ole Miss. Ole Miss beating Georgia. LSU is out of here. Ole Miss beating Georgia. So, man, I'm telling you, it's no more. All of the old guys, because they remember how deep, like how much depth that Georgia had, when they talk, they try to make you sound, us, they had a name for us, right? The Deion tax, they try to call us. When we try to talk, they try to, dismiss us because we're just getting around here. I'm 3.5 years in now. Right now I understand the system and I can talk more fluently about it. And I told y'all, give me some time. So now you got Ole Miss beating Georgia, Alabama's no more, Ohio State. In a fairer time when things were starting off, if you were to say anything like that, these legacy dudes would call you crazy. They would say you were crazy because they're still remembering the old way and the old guard, which is one of my favorite movies, right? The old guard has to know that the changes are affecting the way that the sport is being played now, the way that the sport goes. All right? Because it's like this. Some teams are only missing a few pieces. Not Colorado, obviously. Colorado eventually, I think the cafeteria workers are going to have to suit up because they're not going to be able to find enough players. They're losing everybody, right? Hopefully, we get some news out of Colorado that actual football players want to go to Colorado and play some football. But, I mean, if you look around, teams may just need a linebacker or two. Right? They might just need a left tackle or right guard. You get one or two of those, and then you back them up with somebody who's decent. You can go deep into the season. If you look at what happened to Texas Tech, I was right here on TLP Live, and I kept telling y'all, I said Texas Tech is making a lot of moves. I'm hearing about a lot of the things that they're doing, and it looks like they're going to be a problem. And guess what? They were, even though they didn't go deep. January exposed them, but they made a lot of moves. So that's what's happening to the sport. So if you were just missing that linebacker or left guard or right tackle or whatever you were missing, guess what? You go into the portal, you find one of those sleepers, and you coach them up. And then, boom, your team is now viable. Your team is now right there, ready to play. So that's what we're dealing with right now. It's kind of fun for me because what's happening for me is I'm not the legacy. I'm legacy, but I'm not legacy, right? I've been paying attention for a very long time, not on this side of it, not this close to it, where the fabric of my sports journey has, like, I'm sold to college football. I haven't been like that. But the beauty of what I'm doing, or the beauty of my position, my current position, is that because I'm legacy and I'm not legacy, the not so legacy part from the media perspective is that I'm not sold to the fabric or the DNA of each program, and I can make an assessment based on the current information, the current data. What happens is when you're so grandfathered in and you've been like that for so long, the blinders cause you not to make the right assessment. I hope I'm making sense to y'all. The blinders, because now you're thinking about so many different layers and so many different things that you forget that, oh, Texas Tech made that move. You're not paying attention to, oh, this guess what? Rodriguez or whatever his name is, he's gonna be a problem. Oh, they were just missing the O-line. They got an O-line now, but you're not thinking about the fact that they got an O-line and their quarterback is a monster. Like, he can fight, right? You're not going to be thinking about Vanderbilt the same way. Pavia is a difference maker, right? When he's not giving the middle finger to the voters, he's a difference maker. So think about that, right? A Vanderbilt gets somebody, a fighter like Pavia, and what happens with Pavia? Pavia changes the fabric and the culture of the immediate locker room. People don't think about those things because somebody who's a fighter is going to make sure that everybody else around them fight just like them. That changes your locker room, and that's important. People don't think about that. So when these pieces start to move around and navigate the transfer portal and land in different places, Beck is going to come in and he's going to force you to get up. He's going to force you to change the way you think because he's championship quality coming from Georgia. So now Miami is a contender. People not thinking about that. All they know is that the ACC ain't ready. So when they're doing their analysis, they sit back and they're all cocky, they're bloated mindsets. They sit back and they say, you're crazy, you're a newbie, you're too green to be talking about this, you don't know anything about the sport. And that's all they do. And then they start talking about, if you think that Miami is going to beat X, Y, and Z, then you're crazy. You don't know the sport. And that's where we've been for so long. But here we are. A lot of the people that have been deemed haters and you don't know anything about the sport, they're the one that's flexing nowadays. They're sitting back. A lot of us are just sitting back and we're stretching our arms and we're like, hey man, I heard you said I didn't know anything about the sport. But guess what? A lot of the stuff that I've been saying is happening. Oh, so who's the hater now, homie? Man, my office is cold. I need to warm up my coffee. Let me say hi to them. Let me see what y'all talking about. Dupree, what up with you? He said everybody knew Miami would contend with Beck, though. Not everybody, bro. Not everybody. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Not everybody. Not the way that they know now. Y'all, man, you in here? Y'all, man, what up? After the game, what's up with you? 2 Colorado Janitors just received offers to play for the Buffs. I believe it. I believe it. Y'all been saying Tech needed a QB. Tech needed more than a QB, homie. Because what you got to understand, what you got to realize is that Tech went 12-1. All right? Tech went 12-1. The way they were playing, the competition they were playing, the schedule they had, it offered them, it gave them the opportunity to do what they did. The way that college football is now being handled with the brackets and how things are going, it needs to change, bro. All right, it needs to change. Let me see this. You had Notre Dame out. You had Texas out, which I supported them being out. All right. I mean, like, come on. I know Arch, he finally found his way, and I was a supporter until you turned me into a hater of Arch. You had BYU out. I mean, there were so many. There were like so many bubble teams that were legit contenders. You had them all out. So the way that the brackets worked, you had, you had JMU, which is not bad, right? They score a lot more points than Texas Tech did. But you had teams that just didn't feel and look like. I mean, the group of 8 is fine. I mean, I don't want to be out there talking football with against RG3, because he's obviously, he's been in the system for a minute and he's at the level that I'm not at. But RG3, The group of 8, we gotta figure it out. Figure out another way for the group of 8, RG3. You know what I'm saying? We gotta figure it out. I know your wife is white, and if you're white, you're right. But we need another way, bruh. The group of 8, it just doesn't feel right. It don't feel right, bruh. December football. Okay, let's do it this way. When we come back from the summer and we start playing football in college, let's get to the point where when it starts getting cold, let the game start getting colder. That's an analogy that I hope everybody can pick up. When it starts getting cold, let the game reflect the temperature, right? Like when we talking about, oh, that was a cold move, like that, oh man. Let's try to make this thing where we're not watching lopsided football when it starts to get cold. When it's hot, everybody's hot. You know what I'm saying? If you're in the desert, everybody's hot. I'm talking like Jesus right now. I'm talking like, in parables for the sports fan, and those who know will know what I'm talking about. But in the desert, everybody's hot. So when it's summertime, everybody's hot. But when we get to the wintertime, or when we get to the colder and cooler weather, let that reflect the sport that we start to watch. Let's start winning out everybody else. Let's not be staring at Georgia or Oregon versus JMU. You know what I'm saying? Let's not do that unless you're going to start spreading the money out vastly to a point where a JMU can have like some serious killers, and they're gonna be like NDSU or North Dakota, the North Dakota states, the North and the South. They got NFL players. The whole offensive line or the defensive line are going to the NFL. But let's not do this lopsided football thing where we're watching some craziness this time of the year. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be disappointed. Like, I'm now becoming the real legacy folk where it's upsetting me. I don't want to be upset, you know what I'm saying, a certain time of the year, because when we come to the holidays, this is a time of joy. We are supposed to be joyous. We're supposed to be like, oh man, But then if you are a college football fan, you start throwing things at your flat screen. People are breaking screens and stuff like that. Like, what is this? I'm supposed to be sitting back and being like, wow, Ole Miss in Georgia. That's a good game. It comes down to the wire. It's won in the fourth quarter or on somebody's foot. You know what I'm saying? Some athlete's foot. Wink. All right? Let it come down to an athlete's foot. That's a good game. But we got this college football, NCAA, the way that they're doing things. When it starts getting cold and you start seeing mixed match football games being played, time for playoff, time for us to decide the conference games. And we're seeing the Georgias or the SEC playing group of 8 guys when like the most important decisions are being made. This is where we decide who gets in and who doesn't. And we're seeing Georgia playing, or any of these SEC teams playing group of 8s in the most pivotal at the most pivotal times of the season. They're playing group of 8s to get into the playoffs because their record, based on everybody else besides the group of 8, based on everybody else they play, if they win this game, they get in. Come on now. Make it right. Y'all, man, what up? Rick George and Coach Prime sent CU in the red. Should have never gave Prime $10 million per extension without any real substance. Prime has CU in a worse position than when he got there. Yikes. Corny Copic or Corner Copic said it's all rigged now, brother. It doesn't have to be that way, bro. It doesn't. we can change this. And I mean, the Josh Pate, the Joe Klatz, the real guys the guys that really are level headed, even when they know they're wrong, they'll tell you in their little, Twitter posts or their X post. They have a cool and calm white boy way of telling you they were wrong, even though they don't want to admit that they've been wrong. They've been calling us, Dion taxers, but a lot of us have come in and we got new eyes. We brought new eyes to the game. You know what I'm saying? Those guys, I mean, we've all here. We brought new eyes to the game and we let them know, like, hey, man, we here and we know what we're talking about, or at least a lot of us do. Not all of us. Some of us are just straight up Krispy Kreme. Some of us are way Krispy Kreme glazers than others, but yeah, I'm not one of them. I try to extract myself from that. But yeah, those guys have good ideas. I mean, they've been saying, hey, man, look, let's change this game. Let's make it fair. All right? This is what we should do, and this is what it could be. Maybe we need a commissioner. Maybe we need somebody that's going to tell us, hey, man, this is how we want our game to go, so that we can figure out, maybe get the fans more involved, maybe get TLP involved. All right? Like I told you, I'm 3 years in, and I'm talking more fluently now. I wouldn't have been able to talk like this. I didn't know nothing about no Miami football. I mean, I say nothing, right? I didn't really know enough to, and didn't follow the games. I didn't watch the games. I'm kind of watching highlights. But now that I have a full 2 seasons under my belt, now I'm like, oh, that commissioner is tripping. She don't know nothing about no sports. She tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is she doing over there in the Mountain West? So anyways, I'm just saying all of this to let us know, like, man, our game can be better. Now I'm getting upset over, like, certain games. Oh, man, I'm getting in there. I haven't fully arrived yet, but I'm getting there. And our game could be better with just a few changes. What are some of those changes that needs to be made? Man, we need to fix that bracket system. Because I heard through the grapevine that I think Notre Dame, if they're top 12 or top 10, I could be wrong. I heard that they're going to get an automatic bid. I think if they're top 10, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, it's either top 10 or top 12, they're going to get an automatic bid next year. They're just going to get in there. Where they do that at? Only way to change is if you control the narrative. What you mean by that? Let me channel my Drewski. What you mean by that? What narrative are you trying to change? Like, what do you mean narrative? Because college football there's not one narrative for college football. So I don't know what you mean by that. School by school, we can change narratives, but when it comes to the system, I don't know what you mean by with the narrative. Jeffrey Champion, what up, man? Happy New Year to you. Hope all is well. Yeah, but we don't own anything. This is not a black topic. Because when you say we don't own anything, that's a black topic you're talking about. This is not a black topic. This is a college football topic, not a Negro topic. This is not the Chitlin Circus. We're talking about college football. Corner Copic said, we don't own anything. Stop playing with me, Corner Copic. Oh, man. Lay off the Chitlin Circus for a minute. You said I watched Shador. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, this is not a Shador topic. We're not on that right now. We're strictly talking college football. No, you're right. You're right. We don't own nothing. But if we were talking about that, then fine. And said Yardman said Shador is trash. There you go. You see? Oh my gosh. Oh man. College football is everybody. It's all of us. We all at this. White, blacks, browns. If you're a college football fan, we need solutions. All right. We can't own the NCAA. So let's get some solutions for college football. But let me pivot a little bit. So y'all be strict. Y'all understand strictly what I'm talking about. I am no longer just a college Colorado fan. I like Indiana. I told you all I have to watch more Indiana football to understand their DNA, who they are. So this is the year that I took to watch Cignetti, what he's all about. I'm becoming a Hoosiers fan. Hopefully I'll be able to do Hoosiers content hopefully next year. You know what I'm saying? Like follow their recruiting class and understand more of who they are, understand the mindset of JMU's former coach Cignetti. Maybe I might even have to go back to old JMU, and find out what he was doing over there, because his mindset is different. Dude looks like he looks like a killer. He looks like a serial killer. Cignetti don't look like a football coach. He look like a serial killer. Not in a bad way, I guess. I don't know how you can say that, not in a bad way, but he looked like he's a mastermind when he's on the sideline. You look at him and you're like, what is he thinking? Like, what was that look? You know what I'm saying? Like, I watch a lot of movies, and because I'm a filmmaker as well, like, if I had a script in my hand and I knew the character Cignetti, I would know why he's looking like that, because I'm either the writer of the film or the director, and I'm asking him to look like that. But since I'm not in control of that, if I was to make it up, I would say, if you're watching a movie and you see Cignetti's face, let's go back to the scene where Deborah is trying to get him to jump. And you see Cignetti's face, and he's like, ain't nothing there. He's like, and I said, that is the most scary. Like, I wouldn't know how to direct that, because I wouldn't know what I need to tell the actor to get them to get that face. That's why you got to study faces. That's why you got to study a lot. You got to study human behavior to be a good director like myself. I'm a good director. Okay, I promise you. So when I look at Cignetti's face, I would have to find a way to recreate that, so that if I was directing an actor like Denzel or somebody, I would say, that's why. Okay, so that's why a lot of directors they'll get reference movies, and then they'll just say, "Hey, I want you to look like this, look like this guy," because if I didn't have a reference movie, how do I get an actor to look like Cignetti and what he was thinking in his mind? Like, that face he made, like, what are you thinking? Like, he want to kill you right now for doing that. He's looking at you like, really? That's what you think? You think that my football team is that undisciplined that you're going to try to get me to jump to give you 1 yard? Like, to give you a yard so that you can get a first down? You think I didn't do a good enough job coaching my kids? You think I'm Coach Prime? Like, that look was a disgusted look. Like, you think I'm Coach Prime? That you're going to try to get me to, like, in this most important game with everything on the line, you think I'm a Coach Prime, and my football team is undisciplined, and we're going to jump and give you 1 yard? That's how you think of me? I'm a killer. And then add the N-word. Now, he couldn't say the N-word, but right there you have to say the N-word. Like, I'm a killer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just talk like, I'm a killer. Don't try me. Oh my gosh. Hey, yo, Corn, you're not a distraction, my guy. We're talking football. Tim, what you say? Indiana have great season. They had a great season this year. Next year, they would be talking all basketball when it comes to that university. Tim, don't test me. Don't test me, Tim. What are you talking about? You're saying that they're going to get worse next year? This ain't Colorado, okay? This is not Colorado where nobody wants to come. This is Indiana. This is, we lose 1 year to Oregon. We look like we don't belong here. We have imposter syndrome, but we come back and we say, okay, we were missing one piece and we went in the portal, we got it. It's prime, but with substance, right? It's that statement that said, you better get me now while I'm down, because next year you ain't going to be able to get me. It's that statement with substance, right? Like you make that statement with your actions, not with your voice. That makes sense? Like, you look like a killer on the sidelines and like motionless. You're on your side of the field and you're gonna go for it. You think I'm gonna fall for your trick and I didn't coach my kids? Like last year, Oregon beat us like that. Oh, everybody celebrating. We were undefeated, and Oregon just gonna beat us like that, and y'all think that's gonna be it? Okay. We'll be back. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back. We come back. We beat Oregon. We about to meet them again. And guess what? This time, they're not that strong. Oregon is not that strong. I know their flaws. I've watched them because I hate Dan Lanning so much. I know Oregon is not that strong. I know their flaws. If you have you got to have an elite defensive line. Indiana's defense, the only thing I can say is 3 letters, OMG, and that's it. And then to beat Oregon, you need to be able to move the ball. JMU score. They put up 500 yards. JMU put up 500 yards against Oregon. 500. And January Cignetti, I don't know that serial killer Cignetti, Google me, like, I don't think he's going to lay down and be like, all right, you got it, Oregon. Nah, because Oregon is not that strong of a team. Now, I don't know, maybe Dan Lanning is going to have to give up something to realize what he's missing to become like a Indiana. Maybe I'm going to follow them because now we're becoming a college football channel. We're not the Colorado strings we're cutting all of the Colorado strings, and I'm just going to be talking college football. I'm starting to get comfortable, and I told y'all, don't get me comfortable. Don't get me understanding what everybody's doing, because once I do that, then my mentor RJ Young, who used to be at Fox, or who used to have that Fox channel, then I'll become like him. And then the second I become like him, like, it's over. It's over for you Colorado content creators, because don't make me say it. Don't make me say it. All right, Tim, you said they will fall off. What do you mean, Tim? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that, Tim? Tim, are you busy? Come on here, Tim. Corny says, I am a woman. I was a little temperamental. Why are you indicting all women, Corn? Why are you trying to make it seem like all women are temperamental? Don't do that, Corn. Not around here. We support women around here, okay? We have a very strong woman base led by a light-skinned woman that would not let us get away with those type of statements, okay? So don't do that. Not all women are temperamental, okay? Don't say I'm a woman, so we're supposed to be thinking that you because you're a woman, you're temperamental. Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't want to call Shantae, okay? Shantae will be like, hey, stop it. We talk sports around here. You either know what you're talking about or you don't. That's it. All right. We don't treat you any kind of way, whether you're wearing, thongs. Stop, Harry. Whether you're wearing thongs or boxer briefs, it don't matter to us, okay? If you know what you're talking about, we hold you up. That's it. Tim, what you talking about, Tim? Hey, Tim, if you're not busy, man, call in. I sent you the link already. You got the link. So call in, man. Because don't be in the chat putting stuff up, talking about they're going to fall off and stuff like that. When I hear statements like this, it can only mean that you think this is a Cinderella type of thing. Where was Dorothy from? Is it Indiana? Toto, Tito. It was no. Oh, Kansas. Yeah. Yo, Peter Investor, what's up? I was just laughing at y'all, man. I don't know what he said. Harry, you got comfortable one time and fell into Prime's lap. The hottest thing spinning. Remember you said that, bro, but you got smarter and diverted the ship. Yo, it ain't like I was wrong that Prime is the hottest thing spinning. He still is. Well, he was when Shador was there. But nowadays, I don't even think you can catch a Colorado content creator with a lot of views. Now they're not the hottest thing spinning. So, but anyways, don't play with me, y'all, man. I said that in 23. Now we're in 26. That's 3 years ago when I said that. I said we had to find a way to not just be all Prime. So that's 3 years now. All right. But anyways, I got Tim on the line, so let's go with Tim. Dallas is in the building. Tim, what up, man?
What it do, Harry?
What up with you? Happy New Year, my guy.
Same to you, brother.
All right, man. Look, you got to explain yourself. Don't do that thing. You know we are TLP around here. We're not gonna let things just slide, bro. We don't do that around here.
Yeah.
What do you mean they're gonna fall off? You think this is a Cinderella thing?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think it's a Cinderella thing because you got think about it. Because you said you finna start talking about all of football and
college football. We're not a Colorado channel no more.
All right, cool, bet. So with that being said, is you still have schools like Georgia that's not going anywhere. That's gonna be able to recruit heavily. You got Ohio State over there in the Big Ten.
Uh-huh.
Yes, they had a bad game the other night. They just actually got beat by a better team on that night.
Okay.
They're going to be able to recruit. Alabama got a lot of things to work out in the off season.
Okay.
If not, Alabama's going to fall off just like LSU did for the last couple of years. But we got Lane Kiffin now. We're going to see if he can turn this thing around. Indiana is known for what? Its basketball program. They do have a head coach and a staff that been able to turn that football program into something. I ain't gonna say turn it around. Try to turn it into something that it really hasn't been for decades. But you have a quarterback that's gonna go into the NFL. You got old lineman that's gonna go to the NFL. So a lot of pieces that you have this year, and that you had last year and this year, are all gonna. Some of them, I like to say all of them. Some of them are finna go to the league. Some of your key components especially at the quarterback position. And with the transfer portal being in our phase and other schools having a lot of money, they pretty much got the bag. Uh, they're going to be able to go out and some of those players that's just good players that's hanging around for Indiana that may not have the bag right now, they're going to throw it at them, man. And that's why I feel like, this year is a great year for them. And if they can't win it this year, they're gonna fall off. Trust me, they're gonna fall off. Georgia gonna be there next year. Ohio State is gonna be back there next year. Miami is, if they can purchase them another quarterback, they're gonna be back there because they can recruit. It's a lot of talent coming out of Florida each and every year. No different than Texas. Texas is gonna be in the running next year, I believe. So I just don't feel like I feel like this is Indiana's year to win it all. And I don't think that they're gonna be back there next year.
Okay, so you're doing that thing that we used to do with Colorado, where you're making these statements, but the statements are not being vetted in a way where you understand that while the other teams are making changes, you're thinking that Cignetti is just sitting around throwing his whatever you're saying, his thumbs, and he's just gonna be like, "Woe is me! Oh my gosh, they're making changes." That part, unless we're not using logic, you got to miss me with that part, because he didn't just get here overnight. He came from JMU, right? James Madison, which was down the street. I had to drive past James Madison to get my son to school. Not far from us, right? So he did the same thing there with recruiting. You think he just got here and he's an overnight success, but he's not. So his system that he got in place is coming from the legend himself, right? Why are you not associating some of that energy to him? Why do you think he's just gonna fall off when he's proving to you that he can recruit and he knows how to coach? So why do you not associate some of that to him?
I mean, I associate a lot of it to him to be able to recruit the way that he has coming from James Madison. I'm not taking that
so
away
then
from
how can you make a statement like, oh, they are recruiting, they're gonna get money, they're gonna do this, but then but you're not saying he's gonna do the same thing. If they can do it, he's done it with less. Mm-hmm. And now that he's in the national spotlights 2 years in a row, undefeated, don't you think this is, like I said, I'm going to use Prime now because everybody's jumping on Prime, so it's safe now. Mm-hmm. This ain't Prime. Mm-hmm. This ain't Shedor's here, so we're just going to relax and just, we ain't going to do nothing. This ain't that. This is, I saw the mistake I made year number 1 when I was undefeated and I let Oregon beat me. I went and I made that change. And I also understand what I got this year, and I know the pieces that I'm losing, but I'm winning in a fashion where we are dominating. This is pretty much what Prime wanted to do. We're dominating. Like every game we play, it's like we're hanging 50 on people. We're giving them 60 and 70. What makes you think that this dude is not aware of that? Like this mad scientist. What makes you think he's not aware of that? That he's going to be losing his Shedeur. He's going to be losing his Nikhai Hill-Green. He's going to be losing his BJ, his Black Bully. Mm-hmm. And he's already got plans to make sure that he re-up. Mm-hmm. This is not Prime.
How has it turned out for Prime, though? How has it turned out for Prime?
Prime fell asleep on the wheel. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying Prime
you don't think he's gonna fall asleep. I don't think Prime fell asleep at the wheel. It's
Prime
just the
was
fact.
fighting cancer. But
Well, that
he
was
was
the
fighting
next.
cancer, but he also did not put anybody. His coaching staff was not a coaching staff. It was a bunch of dudes that didn't know how to coach in positions that they didn't know how to affect. Cignetti, okay, I think JB, even though I don't like him too much, he said it best. Prime does not have coaching friends. He's not in the coaching fraternity.
I agree with that statement.
Cignetti has coaching friends. He's in the coaching fraternity. So if he loses a DC or an OC to a head coaching job, there's a lot of people that know he's a mad scientist and he's a good coach that would love, and they will be lining up to coach for him. And I'm talking about former head coaches will leave, will get off their couch and come and position coach for him. That's the type of stuff that you want to happen so that you can have a great program. You're not going to go get a bunch of dudes a bunch of yellow jackets and you're going to come and brighten up the place, but that's it. Over there in Colorado, we knew that that was not a real sustaining situation. We said that here. But that's not what's happening in Indiana. That's a real football program that guy is building over there. He is not a one-hit wonder. You saw it from last year. He only lost one game last year. One game, bro. And then this year, he hasn't lost a game. So how can you come over here and say, oh, they're going to fall off? How does something like that fall off that easily? It don't make sense, Tim.
Okay, he was making me choke on this war.
It don't make. And you better come strong with your argument. It's 2026, man. We're not playing no more.
Oh yeah, I'm coming out firing on all cylinders.
Okay, I'm just saying. You can't just don't make no loose statements this year. We're not that channel.
I got you.
All right. We flexing now.
I'm keeping it. Well, I'm finna keep it all 100.
Keep it a buck, homie. Let's go.
Yeah, keep it a buck. Oh, all right, cool. Yes, he went. What, they lost one game last season?
One game, bro.
Right, when it mattered.
But he fixed that. He fixed that. He back now. He hasn't lost yet.
Yeah, but he hasn't.
They've lost what?
Hold on.
This lost one game in 2 years.
Hey, listen. He hasn't won it either. Yet.
What is
Even
it?
this
What is
season
it?
with an undefeated. With an undefeated season. And look, I'm
identify what it is. What is it?
He has not won the national championship this season. Is what I'm saying. He still has 2 games to go in order to capture the natty. Oh, am I right or wrong?
Oh, you're right, but that's not the point here. He can lose that. It wouldn't matter.
Oh, yes, it does.
It doesn't matter. I'm attacking your statement of they're going to fall off. That's what
and I'm getting there.
Tell me how they're going to fall off when there is no evidence. You show me the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Show me the map. Mm-hmm. Like on Stranger Things. Show me the map.
Hey, that was a good season the other night too, but go ahead. Show
me the map on how they fall off. Because I would like to see how they fall off without going into the upside down.
Okay. What I don't really know, but I wonder who's their backup quarterback. Are you invested, or do you trust their backup quarterback, whomever that is? I haven't looked. I
don't know Indiana well enough to know they're too deep.
Okay, great. I'm glad you said that. Me either.
Okay.
Now, with that being said, who is the best player on their team?
I think the beauty of it is that they don't have a best player. I feel like they have.
I'm not gonna let you move the goalposts on that, Harry.
I feel like they have a team. I feel like the way that Cignetti is setting this thing up is that there is no identifiers.
Okay,
which is
so
always the beauty. It reminds you of I forget what year it was, but the Milwaukee Bucks. Like, yeah, even though they have Giannis, but I feel like there was not a real identifier of what was going on. Like, they were just a team.
Okay. So you're confident in what you just stated versus what I just asked you, that they can win the national championship without their starting quarterback. They can go in, they can beat Oregon without their starting quarterback.
Are we talking about next year or what's happening now?
No. I'm painting this picture for you to to say that they're going to fall off next season. All of this going to tie in together.
You're still talking about that, right?
Yes, I'm still on that. That's
so
why
okay,
I asked you.
So you're saying that once their quarterback goes to the NFL, they're not going to have another guy that's going to be able to beat Oregon. That's what you're saying?
I'm going to get to that.
Oh,
I'm just trying to set it up for you to kind of make sense.
Okay, I'm listening.
I asked you, who do you think is the best player on Indiana's football team? And you said collectively they're all good. And then I turned around and asked you, okay, do you think that they can beat Oregon without their starting quarterback right now?
Yes. That answer is yes.
Okay. So you think that they can compete with Oregon without their starting quarterback? The Heisman Trophy winner, the possible #1 draft pick in this up and coming NFL draft. You feel like that they can win without him. I'm glad you said that. I don't believe it, but I'm glad that you believe in them that much. So,
well, I will have to borrow some things from DC and Phil to answer that question.
Man, if DC, where they at? They probably on vacation. They're probably out of the country. But
no, I mean, no, Alabama law, so you know they're in hiding.
Oh yeah, they're in the shed crying.
Yeah, they bruh, wounded dogs.
Wounded dogs.
They gotta be licking their tails right now. Anyway, but they got the link. It's out there. They got the link just like you did.
Right. But what I'm saying, Harry.
But no, hold on. Let me tell you though. According to my assistant, there you got Mendoza, you got Alberto. Wait, that's not his brother, is it? You got he's a redshirt freshman. Yes, his brother. That is his brother.
Yeah, his brother plays for them as well.
Okay, so you got his brother as a redshirt freshman who backs him up, and then you got Jacob Bell. He's also a freshman. But this is what I want to say. The way that the team is set up is not like Texas Tech. The way that the team is set up is that you only need a serviceable quarterback because they have an O-line that can protect whoever. So you just need somebody who's serviceable. You don't need a Heisman Trophy winner to be able to beat a good team, because if you've seen Oregon, I don't know why you're using Oregon. Look at how
using Oregon. You said Oregon.
But who did you say? Can it be?
I did say Oregon. I'm sorry. Yeah, I did say Oregon.
Yeah. You said can it be Oregon? If you look at how JMU played Oregon, and you look at how Texas Tech played Oregon, the game was so close. You shouldn't, like, in good faith, you should not be using Oregon, because Oregon is some sauce right now. Because if their defense, you know that if they can recruit on the defensive line, they can stop Oregon. Now, if Texas Tech or JMU had a decent quarterback or a better quarterback that can distribute the ball, and you had wide receivers that can get separation, Oregon is cooked. So I can't use, in good faith, that argument is weak. Oregon cannot be the one. I would take Georgia. I would take Ole Miss. I would take maybe Vanderbilt, Alabama. I would take any of those guys over Oregon when you saying, okay, can they beat those guys?
No,
Or are you talking about conference
I'm
play?
no, I'm just talking about where we currently sit at right now in this year's 2025-2026 season.
Yeah.
Is what I'm talking about.
So let's
But
let's
I'm
say
trying to.
Mendoza got hurt. Let's say Mendoza got hurt. If Mendoza got hurt, they can still win it. That's what I stand on.
Right. That's why I say you stand on that.
Yeah.
If they can win without him, that's the way you feel.
Yeah,
So,
their team is set up in such a way where if Mendoza got hurt, they'll find a way, because Cignetti is such a mad scientist. I think they'll find a way. It ain't going to be the same, obviously. They're not going to blow teams out like they've been doing, but they'll find a way to squeak out a win.
Right. Okay.
Sure.
Now, the reason I say what I said, that they're going to fall off, is for the simple fact of what they're losing come next season. I don't know what they may have coming down the pipeline, but I also know Miami, University of Miami, is going to be in need of a quarterback next season. What did they do the last 2 seasons? They got the money to go purchase them a quarterback by all means necessary. So some of these top quarterbacks that's still going to be playing next season, one of them is going to end up at University of Miami. Georgia is going to be able to recruit the way that they always have been able to recruit. Ohio State is going to be able to recruit. Oregon is going to be able to do the same thing. They're going to be able to recruit. Alabama, in spite of everything that's going on, they're going to be able to recruit too. Some of these other schools that are losing top tier quarterbacks to the NFL that's going to enter their name into the NFL draft, they're going to get quarterbacks, some of the top quarterbacks out there as well. That's why I say coming out next season, which quarterbacks are still here that you feel like is going to go over to Indiana over a University of Miami or a Alabama or a Ohio State? What quarterbacks do you think really gonna pass them schools up to go to Indiana?
So the way, okay, let's bring on JR Boxing, because he may be able to help us with this. Before we bring him on, I'm just gonna let you know that I'm still on my, because everybody's jumping on Prime, I'm still gonna stay on that. I think you still got some leftover of the Prime syndrome.
No, I don't.
Let me tell you why. I think so. This is not Colorado.
I know this is not Colorado.
Right, but you're phrasing the question like when we used to just be Colorado people. This is Indiana that is making a lot of noise. In, like, when you think about Indiana, you don't think football, right? You think basketball, but this is Indiana that has been making noise, and this is their second year in a row. But also the coach comes from JMU, and they were contenders no matter where he goes. So I think you're not thinking about the fact that they've been undefeated for 2 years in a row. So
Harry,
when you ask the question, ask it in a more respectable way, and Google my guy Cignetti. Like, don't disrespect my guy with those questions. I feel like you're being disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? I think you should put more respect on my guy. You should put more respect on my guy's name, bro.
I feel you. We're going to ask JR Boxing what he believes when he come on. But also, I'm going to throw this in here, and I'm going to shut up and let JR go at it.
All right, go ahead.
Duke had a real good season one time, too. They fell off the next season. North Carolina had a good season 1 year. Fell off the next season. These are 2 basketball programs. even though Indiana done it in two years back to back, which I can't take anything away from them
Yeah.
for doing what they doing. But mark my word, I'm just eager to hear what JR gonna say.
All right, let's bring him on. JR Boxing, what up, my guy? Thank you for calling in. I appreciate you. Happy New Year, brother. What up?
Yeah, man. Let me backtrack real quick. Let me say happy holidays going back and happy New Year. So let me backtrack, man. Same to you, Tim, man. Happy holidays and happy New Year.
Likewise, brother.
Salute.
Yeah, man.
How do you feel about this new way of being free to talk about football and not be worried about Colorado?
Look, Colorado is what brought a lot of us together, man. So
hey, I'm
it
not
is
disrespecting the hustle. I'm just saying, look, man, I got tired of it, and I want to be free to just talk about football.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Cool.
I agree with Tim a little bit. I don't think it is going to be a complete fall off for Indiana, and I don't think Tim's saying that at all. But they are losing a lot of experience. But the one thing Coach Cignetti has not lost yet is anybody significant off his staff, and that is the interesting thing there, because if you look at certain time periods of whether teams were good or consistent throughout, they usually kept the staff kind of intact. Once people start leaving off the staff, that's when you see, certain chinks in the armor. What Cignetti has been able to do all the way from Division II to the University of Indiana is keep things intact with his staff, having minimal loss, but not losing like high-ranking coordinators. So, and that's a big thing. So as long as he doesn't lose that, I don't think they go undefeated next year. But losing a lot of seniors, they'll probably drop maybe a game or two in the Big Ten.
But that was my argument. I keep trying to tell Tim. I said I'm trying to poke him a little bit. He's not falling for the trap, but like I keep telling him this is not Colorado. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to say it without saying it. Like this is a real football program that Cignetti is building, and he's in the coaching. He's in the coaching fraternity. And just like you said, he ain't gonna have a big fall off when it comes to coaching, when it comes to staff. So, and then his mentality on recruiting is gonna be the same. They're not laying down and saying, licking their wounds and be like, oh my gosh, we're about to lose a lot of people like Colorado. Because when I was telling y'all last season that hey man, Texas is making a lot of changes, a lot of moves. And Iowa State was making moves. Everybody was making moves in the Big 12, but Colorado was not really making that much move. It was like, oh, okay, we won 9 games last year, and we're gonna be okay. And it wasn't so, right? Cignetti is not sitting around thinking, oh, I'm going to wait until these guys leave, and before I start making phone calls or before I start sending my hyenas out there to get my next set of guys. Remember, he came from JMU. He won. He went undefeated the first season. The second season, he's doing it again. So if that is how it's been, then how can it fall off? How can it just fall off and they just go back to basketball? That's why I was trying to challenge Tim. I'm like, I don't see that happening, because it would have happened already.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, quite possibly could have happened already. But look, some things that people don't talk about with Coach Cignetti. Look, everybody talk about the Google me statement, right? Because that's just a big splash like statement. But something happened with IU in 2024. IU got $60 million of money just for their football program. That's a big upgrade. So everybody kind of glossed over that. They did a whole 60 minutes report about it, talking to the athletic director of Indiana University. and they received $60 million just for the football program. No other sport. They ain't got to share that money with nobody else. Mark Cuban, minority owner for the Dallas Mavericks, he pumped in a lot of money into that program. So with Cignetti coming in, it was like look, I think we're gonna hit on this coach. We need to get some money together and we need to hit now so we can get players in. Because if you look at the money that they spent in the transfer portal over the 2 years Cignetti has been there, they have spent a significant amount of money in the transfer portal to bring some senior veteran guys in. He brought about 20 or so guys who were here from JMU, but the other players that they have brought in, they brought them in from like prominent universities. The center for their team last year was the center for Notre Dame, the same team that was in the national championship last year. They got him to come to Indiana. So they breaking off their money. So money, I'm not discrediting Cignetti coaching prowess. He has it. He got what it takes. But he also got that money behind him too. And money talk. You see what happened with Texas Tech? They ran through the Big 12 for the most part because they had a little money to back them up. So.
And Ohio State also bought their championship.
Yeah,
they got money.
Yeah, last
right.
year.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
money counts.
The money counts. But also, if you get the money, you're going to also have to understand how to maintain the people that you're getting, right? You're going to have to build a culture where the people that you bring in, even though they come for money, they're going to have to feel like, hey, I'm competing for something real, and I'm going to stick around and make sure that I see it through. We can't say the same thing about CU. Right? We can't say the same thing about like other programs like, Iowa State. Iowa State is losing everybody.
Yeah, they lost their coach though. Come on, give Iowa State a break here. They lost their coach.
Okay. So I'll give you that, but then you gotta answer the question of DeBoer. What happens? Yeah. What happens to Alabama? Is it nostalgia that's keeping them there?
I mean, look. Alabama has a system that's kind of tried and true, man. And Nick Saban is not the head coach anymore, but he's still a prominent figure in that university and in those football hallways. Nick Saban's still recruiting for Alabama. When Kalen DeBoer got hired, not just the first year, the second year Nick Saban came in and still pitched to players to, hey, we need you to stay. It's about the culture. It's about this. It's about that. Nick Saban is still doing that for Alabama. He has an office at the University of Alabama still.
Okay,
that's crazy.
So okay, but it's not just Nick Saban though. There are, offsprings of each program. Like if we go to Miami, you see. You see all of the veterans that are on the sideline cheering those kids on like crazy, right? Michael Irvins and what's the name are on the sideline. They're cheering. Those people are recruiting also.
Absolutely.
So okay, so that but it comes from the system and the culture that you built around the school to make sure that that's being fostered. So somebody's doing something right at Indiana. So for you to say, oh, they're gonna fall off. I don't know. Tim, you're back, man. Did you want to add to what JR was saying? Because Tim he jumped off real quick.
Yeah, man. I didn't hear everything JR has stated. My phone cut out.
Yeah, he was kind of agreeing with you. My whole thing is, and I'm still gonna keep using it. My whole thing is, look, man, you got a program that's being built. This is not we're going to come in, make a bunch of big statements, and then we can't back it up, right? Like there's a lot of I'm showing you first, and then you can decide what you're going to do with it. And ever since he said, Google me, I've been a fan, right? Like he said, Google me. If you don't know, Google me. I ain't going to say too much. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. He told the fans that. He said, watch, we're going to turn this thing around. So that's how I'm looking at this whole Indiana move. But we're looking at the Big 12 right now. On your screen, I know you probably not be able to look at your screen, but we got OSU with 47. This is the number of transfer portal entries. Big 12 football via 247 Sports as of 12/30/25.
Mhm.
All right, I know if your timeline is a Colorado timeline like mine was, you're probably going to think the world was ending with Colorado, but they're not the ones losing the most. You got OSU, Iowa State, and West Virginia losing the most. Colorado is just number 4. Thoughts on that?
Oh, go ahead,
Omar,
JR.
Omar said
No.
Prime
You
is
go ahead.
also
Go ahead,
on
Tim.
record saying he recruited for Colorado for Florida State. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Prime was recruiting for. Oh, okay, yeah. When he was because he's an alum, right? He didn't graduate from there, but he's an alum.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I want thoughts on the fact that we got OSU with 47 entries, Iowa State with 45 entries, 29 West Virginia, Colorado has 25 so far. But I haven't really done the research to let you know the pivotal pieces, because obviously a bunch of second stringers are looking for opportunities. So that number is going to be mixed in there. But because we know Colorado well around here, we know that their pieces that are leaving are very instrumental pieces.
Very.
So their 25 is probably going to count as double. You know what I'm saying? Because they're losing McKinney.
Whoa,
I mean, they're losing a lot, bro. You can't lose your entire D line, your entire O line, your key position players. I mean, that's everybody.
DJ McKinney just entered the transfer portal. It's like,
yep.
They in bad shape.
Look, it does look bad. You can't talk around that. But what I will say is that for the defensive line specifically, like those guys that was on the defensive line, they didn't sign for Pecco, right? Like Pecco got hired after the fact. Like Pecco didn't come until the beginning of the spring portal or somewhere around there. So a lot of them guys was already signed. They signed a lot of defensive guys like early. They signed those high school guys early. Obviously, look, culture can be a thing. None of us in the locker room, so we don't really know what's happening, what's being said. But it could just be Pecco could be like, you know what? Hey, if we rebuilding this thing and I need the opportunity to build it in my likeness, then tough decisions have to be made. You don't want to lose young talent, right?
Well, who's Pecco?
He the defensive line coach.
Oh, the defensive line coach. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you obviously don't want to lose young talent, because that could be building blocks for your program going forward. But it's going to be a whole new rebuilt defensive line. So we'll see what he could do with some of the talent that he wants to bring in, because he didn't recruit London Merritt. London Merritt was recruited by Dancy. Then Dancy went to Mississippi State. London Merritt being a new guy. Well, I'm signing for Coach Prime too, but your position coach was Coach Dancy that recruited you. Then when you get there, he's not your position coach because he's gone. And then you have Coach Hilo being your position coach. So things are a little bit different then. Not saying Coach Hilo can't coach.
So then let me ask you this question.
Relationships are kind of like up and down.
So then let me ask you this question. Because since Coach Prime has been coaching, he's had to replace OCs every year, right? Every half a year.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So one thing that we hadn't been able to talk about is his staffing. Like, he's not the greatest at staffing. Right? Either he's way too loyal or he's way too naive at staffing. Like, he came in making statements about he was going to get the position players, not understanding that you needed the O-line and the D-line, right? So he didn't really invest in that part of it. So what faith do we have that Prime is going to, like, they're doing it now? Because they didn't build a system that can survive the test of time or storms. Because every single season, everybody leaves. So are we trusting the new regime with Prime? Like, I think Prime is probably the only one that's there now that he's the head coach, but he's the last man standing. It's a whole nother look at Colorado. Are they doing it the right way now? Is there anybody that we can trust? I can't trust DMVR Buff because they're not, I can't trust them. I'm sorry. Because they're too close. I can't trust Neely because I don't know what it is about him. But who can give us information that they're really doing it the right way now? How do we know that they're doing it the right way now?
Only thing I would say to that is you're gonna have to look at the staff that he's bringing on, where they're coming from, how successful were they at their previous universities, and beyond that. But as far as getting a lot of NFL guys to come in, to me, I didn't like the idea of that from the initial start, for the simple fact that I felt like just because you played it at a higher level doesn't mean that you could coach it at the college level or even at the high school level. But getting guys to buy in, I felt like it was more of a brotherhood. Like the NFL, those guys almost like the politicians. They keep stuff so secretive, and they have that strong brotherhood that a lot of stuff is not going to be leaked out, that leaves people in the blind like us, like wondering like what the crap is going on up there. Like, y'all got all this so-called gold jackets, but
right,
the product that y'all presenting stinks, and y'all going to get good players from, even though some of them are young, but they're great players that's coming from high school ranks, that's winning at a high level and dominating in their position at a high level, like these kids that's coming from IMG Academy, and now they're walking up out of the door. It's like, okay, it's something going on that's deeper than what our eyes and our ears are seeing or telling us.
Well, everything rises and falls on leadership, so we got to blame leadership for that. But at the end of the day, I would say, welcome back, JR. But let's talk about what Omar said. He said nobody knows. Closest would be Buffed in Prime or Matt McChesney. That's incorrect. I don't trust neither. I don't trust those guys. And then Buffed in Prime is starting to kind of rough all wrong with me because too much braggadocious stuff is going on with Buffed in Prime on Twitter as I see it, because I don't watch their YouTube stuff no more. I just feel like they're just kind of like, pouting their chest and like, oh, I told you, I know so much about football. That kind of stuff is just, just do what you're gonna do and then just move on. But for them, it's like, yo, y'all are doing too much, chest pumping and you're rubbing your nose in. You know what I'm saying? You're rubbing your nose in everybody's stuff. Like, too much. You're the best football mind online when it comes to Colorado and stuff like that. Hey, yo, look, when they came in, I said, hey, man, you guys are good for the culture. You're good for this environment. Do what you do. You know what I'm saying? But, man, it's a lot of chest pumping going on. And then Matt McChesney is too, how can I say it? Matt McChesney is too grumpy.
And he's raw and uncut.
Well, and he cusses too much. It's like, bro, like, you grumpy, you want to be in but you're out. You want to be in and out. You're in and out. You're not like really like. So I don't trust none of them, and they don't have no like. They know football, but they're not like, oh, hey, this is what's really going on. So I can't trust information coming from them. I don't really pay attention to people like that anymore.
Well, hey, can I say something to that real quick, Harry?
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to Matt, if you listen to him, I don't really listen to him a lot, but his thing, I feel like, and I'm just speculating, I feel like when it comes to him, he's more disappointed in the fact that Prime is hiring a lot of yes men. And then another thing is, you're letting all these big because Matt McChesney, he has a facility where he works out with top tier O line and D linemen in the state of Colorado and from other states. So he's interacting with these players, and he just mad. He's sick of them leaving the state and Colorado not offering them, and they going on to other schools like Indiana, some of these other Power 4 schools, and they're balling out. But he's seen it from the beginning, and he's telling them, hey, y'all need to look into this. You know, instead of going here to Florida, boys, and getting guys out of Texas and stuff, y'all need to look in y'all backyard because y'all really got some mad talent here. And I think he just frustrated with all that.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a way to do it because people ain't gonna just like, you know, capitulate. You can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out, cussing everybody out, and then think like they're gonna just listen to you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't mind. But Dupree, you're saying T. Cal has knowledge of the game. I don't know which part is Cap. Because ain't nobody denying that he has knowledge of the game. He definitely has knowledge of the game, but I would like to just, hey man, stop pumping your chest and just, you know, do what you do. I mean, you got a strong angle, you know, if you're like,
bro, T. Cal, what he's doing is just breaking down film. Hey, I could get on here and break down film, bro. He's not really doing nothing spectacular to me that I see.
Well, I mean, that's the angle that I told him that, you know, the community needed that. They needed, you know, some people may be a little tired of the other stuff, but the community needs that. And they found an angle where a lot of college football fan or laissez-faire, they don't really understand what they're watching and stuff like that. And that's dope. But do it. This is my suggestion. If T. Cal ever listens to me, I'm not against anybody on YouTube doing whatever they do. Just do it without the chest pumping. You know what I'm saying? Just do it with like, yo, you don't have to keep rubbing it in people's noses that you know so much and da 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 da. And then every time another player leaves, they're gonna post a clip where he says these people are gonna leave. It's like, for me, it's starting to look a little like weird to me. It's just weird. I'm not against them. Yo, do what you do, but you know what I'm saying? If you know something, man, like you know something, do what you do. But stop trying to make Colorado look like, you know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, I told you they were going to leave with the best. I know more about football. And then they're always the laughing emojis. Those type of things, they rub off on me wrong, and I just don't like it. Ain't nobody going to discredit them and what they know. But for me, it's just like, man, stop chest pumping. Like, you know what you know, bro. Like,
hey Harry. Hey Harry, let me say this too to that. Like, having inside scoop on who's gonna be leaving or not. What you got people out here that's not even close to prime, and they can see the writing on the wall who's finna leave. If I'm not mistaken, we was one of the first that said Cormoney McClain was gonna leave from TLP Sports Club. We were one of the first to say Dylan Edwards was gonna leave after his first year, because I was one of the ones that said I felt like Dylan Edwards was gonna walk.
Yeah.
So having inside scoop on who gonna leave, I mean, you can look at the writing on the wall, man. These kids trying to get paid, and they trying to go to the league.
Tim, it ain't even about that, man. Like, I don't want to come off here being all self-righteous. I just want to talk football, man. I want to build a community where people can come and talk football. But for some reason, it just seemed like us black people, we just don't know how to commune. We got to be against each other. The content creators, they got to be against each other. And I don't want that. I don't want to create any type of animosity where somebody has to talk poorly about me, or I necessarily have to talk poorly about anybody. I don't care about that. Like, everybody has an angle. There's a reason why people come to TLP to have a conversation. There's a reason why people go to they even pay for a Patreon with Buffed Prime, because they're providing something for them. There's a value that they like. It's all good for me. All right. It's all good. I just want to make sure that if we're servicing a community, that we do it in the best way that we know how. But I want to leave that alone. More power to them. I just want to know, is there anybody out there that know if Prime is doing it the right way? Because the way that I feel like they're not building a sustainable program at Colorado. Because I don't know how you sustain all your guys always leaving. You know what I'm saying? Like OSU, they lost their coach. Iowa State lost their coach. Penn State and others lost their coaches. So you understand why some people would have left. But every year, Colorado have had the same coach for 3 years, and they've lost almost the same amount of people every year. How that work? You see what I'm saying? Like, how that work? So it's like, bro, like you gotta be building a program that is respectable, and then you gotta start working on your your staff tree. Does that make sense, guys? Like, you got to start working on your coaching staff tree. Maybe this is the year that they started being more serious about the tree, because that tree was not growing. That was a dead, tree. That was a dead tree. It was like the tree didn't have the right branches. You didn't know what fruit was coming from the tree. You didn't really understand what the tree, you know what I'm saying? The vines weren't really right on the tree. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the heck is going on? You're bringing in a bunch of Go Jackets that don't know how to coach. They just play the sport, and you know that's not the best way to build. From people that just built that just know how to play the sport, but they don't know how to coach it. What my man saying? Tim is not all about these kids getting paid. Look at the bigger picture. That most are bypassing, no development happening there, and he is lost more than a needle in a haystack. Phil says strange fruit hanging. What up, Phil? Phil has reared his head.
Hey,
what up, Phil?
Hey, let me say this, Harry.
Yeah,
like I'm gonna take a page out of DC playbook. Like the chain of command. Like Prime is at the head of the table,
okay,
but the staff up under him may not know how to lead. He hasn't taught his staff how to lead properly the way that he wants them to lead. So therefore, it's not translating down to the players. And I feel like that's why a lot of them are jumping each and every year. But and I'm gonna reference that to Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin just left Ole Miss in the middle of going to the playoffs, and the players could easily just fold it the other night. But the staff that he had rallied everybody together. Like, okay, our head man is down. We're gonna have to continue to carry this torch. We're not going to let this flame be put out.
Hey Tim, I know you're saying that, and I hear the announcers during the game. They could have easily folded, but don't you think there's a difference between going to the Bengay Bowl and playing in the national championship, playing for a national championship? You think players are not aware that the difference is vast? You're pretty much going to be on the national stage where NFL teams are evaluating you versus you playing in the Elbow Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And the stakes are much higher. So it ain't that hard for you to think, oh, they're sticking around because they're playing for a national chip versus you playing for the Popcorn Bowl.
I mean, that's a part of that could be true. But even though you still on the larger stage, it's still in the back of your mind somewhere. You know what I mean? This guy may have recruited you. He may recruited you. Now you in your last season and you want to finish it out with the head coach that recruited you. So a lot of things can be playing through your mind, even though you got to go out there and perform at a high level to advance to the next game for a possible chance at the national championship. So I'm not gonna say that it's not gonna be floating around in your head somewhere, but you still got to go out there and give it 110%.
That's true. That's true. I mean, I see it playing out in many different ways, but if Colorado does not do it right, then next year is going to be repeated. Plus, if you follow Coach Prime's, I guess the way that he's been doing things, then that means that it's plausible for you to say that the OC is not gonna stay. You see what I'm saying? Like, it makes sense to say the OC is not gonna stay. So once they part ways with that OC, then who else is left? Because he's not a part of a tree. He's not part of the fraternity. And he can't just pick up the phone and find people who he's been coaching with in the trenches and say, hey, man, I know you just got fired from Arizona. You just got fired from KU or BYU. I need you. He can't find former head coaches to come and play position coaches like other coaches can. And that's what I think is important to build a sustainable program where you are in the fraternity and you can pick up the phone and make some phone calls and get some really dope coaches that are not on 1 year rental contracts, because you're literally renting guys who are ambitious for their own career. You don't have friends. People are suggesting people who are ambitious. So what can we say about Prime that is gonna, like, he's building a respectable football program in Colorado, and people are really gonna respect the fact that he's doing it and want to be part of that journey? Colorado's a laughingstock, I think.
That's the $10 million question, Harry. That's the $10 million question.
And that's what makes Colorado a not so sexy destination for guys that want their careers to be, to be looked upon as, hey man, I got a trajectory to the NFL. They came in saying, oh yeah, if you want to go to the NFL, Colorado's the place to be, but it's not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say completely. I agree with half of what you're saying as far as, like, yeah, people are going to go there to up their stock, i.e.
Right.
Marshall Faulk, right? Who come in, like, did we really see a significant improvement from the running back position? Not to the blind eye, but if you were to ask the young men in the position room, they'll probably say, yep, there was a significant improvement, but they didn't run the ball enough for us to see it as fans.
No.
But then Marshall Faulk turns around and he becomes a head coach. So then you look at things like that.
Right.
Like, okay,
why did he get a head coaching job and how? And what did he do significantly that helped him to get that job? It wasn't him coaching.
I think it was more
they didn't go out there and get 1,200 yards, or they didn't go out there and get 3,000 yards to say, oh my gosh, he turned it around.
Yeah, I think that's more so on relationships, right?
Yeah, he was working on that way before he got to Colorado.
Yeah, but when you build relationships, and you have coaching relationships, let's say, look at like Deshaun Jackson's team, right? Mm-hmm. You look at a team like that, and Deshaun Jackson, like, look, I got a coach on my staff. He a really good coach or whatever like that. He need a big opportunity. He a wide receivers coach. Maybe you can get him to Colorado to be a wide receivers coach or something like that to improve his trajectory as far as in the coaching realm. So it's not necessarily just about, well, you come up through the grassroots as a GA and then you an assistant coach and all of that, coordinator coach. Sometimes it's about the relationships you have with other head coaches. They may be at smaller programs, but a lot of coaches have come from smaller programs themselves to now become head coaches, i.e., what's the guy name? He coaches at Duke right now. I forget his name. He's the head coach there. But
are you talking about basketball or football?
No, I'm talking about football. Manny Diaz.
Manny Diaz, they just won their ball game.
No, but what I'm saying, he's the head coach at Duke, but he started off in HBCU ranks.
Okay.
Right, as a position coach. but he got his opportunity to go and be some defensive analyst due to relationships with other people. And so that's what I'm saying. Coach Prime can kind of massage those relationships. He can reach out to a Mike Vick, Deshaun Jackson, Marshall Faulk. Who do you have on your staff that's up and coming? I know you don't want to necessarily lose them from your staff, but it's all about building that, that resume for that guy that may have some ambition to, hey man, this my stop doesn't end here at Delaware State. I would like to someday be a head coach somewhere. So you just kind of, you got to massage those relationships. So that's how I look at it.
Yeah. That's how it is. Hey, Phil So Real, man. Welcome to the show, brother. Thank you for calling in. I appreciate you, brother. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. What up?
Man, peace and blessings, man. Happy New Year to everybody. Hope all is well. Hope y'all doing good. I'm happy to be on, man. It's good.
Are you done licking your wounds? 30
we're
points
not doing
is not
that.
a good thing.
We're not. Listen, we're not doing that.
I know we're not.
I want to be very clear. I did not play last night. However, I did march in the Rose Bowl parade in 2027. I got to shake George Lucas's hand. I've seen the YouTube clip if you want it. But I didn't play in the game last night. My feelings are hurt. I don't have a problem with my team losing. I have a problem with how they lost. They lost terribly. They got their lunch stolen from them. They got their ish pushed in last night. It is what it is. We're gonna move on, and that's what it is.
All right. Thank you.
I can't put it any other way. We got our lunch money taken from us.
Hey Harry, I would like to hear Phil's take on what me, you, and JR talked about earlier with Indiana.
Oh, with Cignetti? Yeah. What up, Phil? Happy New Year to you,
what's going on, JR? What's going on, Tim? Cignetti is a psycho, and
I thought I was the only one that saw it. I think he looked like a serial killer. But anyways, go ahead.
Nah, I mean, like we can, hindsight is always 20/20. Mm-hmm. But I think if Alabama, if the people at Alabama knew what Kirk Cignetti was going to be right now in Indiana, I think they would be rethinking their pick to get Kalen DeBoer. However, I do feel like Kalen DeBoer is a really good coach. I think he's going to be successful at Alabama. He's done more with less everywhere he's been, so I'm not tripping. But as far as Kirk Cignetti is, I ain't gonna lie to you. I haven't been a fan of him, but the guy is winning, and you can't take that away from him. And Indiana is gonna be hell for the rest of the playoffs. I think early pick. I think Oregon might be able to get him, just because they're peaking at the right time, and Indiana got some injuries they got to deal with.
See, that's what I said.
But Kirk Cignetti is that dude. Like I can't take it away from him. I wanted to hate on him. I wanted to be like, oh, Google me, blah 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 blah, talking all this kind of smack. But he winning. I can't take it away from him. I can't be a man of my word and be like, oh, he trash. No, he's not.
Well, what about this, Phil? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to lay it out, but you about to tell him. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask you, with the way that they have shown last season, with a winning season, and this year with a winning season, but they're losing their star quarterback, who I feel like is the driving force of the team. Yeah. With what they're going to be losing, and they can still regain that in the portal. But how do you feel like? I feel like they're going to fall off next season.
He's thinking they're going to fall off. He's thinking this is a Cinderella year.
No. But
I'm like, are you crazy? Go ahead, Tim. Go ahead.
Kirk Cignetti made it plain and simple. Indiana is not playing against tough competition when it comes to out of conference games. So if you look at Indiana's schedule for the next couple of years, Harry, if you want to pull it up, you're more than welcome to. Futureschedules.com, I think, is what I normally use. But if you want to look at Indiana's schedule for the next couple of years, they're not playing a P4 contender every year. They're playing against the group of five pushovers every year. They're pretty much having a Nebraska, not Nebraska, I'm sorry, a Notre Dame type schedule every year moving forward. So Indiana is always going to be in the conversation as long as they can beat the one or two teams they play in their conference. So as long as they can play tough against Ohio State, Michigan, USC, even the Nebraska, you know what I'm saying? They're going to at the very least be in the top 12. They're going to be in the top 12 for the next 3 or 4 years. Now, the issue that I have with Indiana is it sustainable to only go after transfer portal quarterbacks? I think at some point you're going to have to stick to the high school ranks and develop a guy and keep a guy in your system for more than 1 year. So that's where I'm concerned at. But as far as like competition wise, Indiana is going to be there for a while because they have a trash schedule for the next couple of years.
Well, I mean, if you look at Miami, they've done it 2 years in a row also. So why are you still against the transfer portal for individual guys or even for the quarterbacks? Because the transfer portal has also told us that it's more becoming a quarterback portal than anything else.
But Harry, I want to be very clear though. With Miami, they have gone to the transfer portal for their quarterbacks. But if you look at their skill positions, if you look at their line of scrimmage, Mesidor, Bain, Francis, the guy that's on the I think it's their left tackle, all those guys, high school. Malachi Tony, high school guy. The only place that they've really been going heavy at as far as transfer portal is the quarterback. And I'm not saying Indiana is or Indiana isn't, but what I'm saying is I don't know how sustainable that is because at the very least with Miami, they have those skill players to put around that quarterback that they've been recruiting out of high school.
And they come out in drones.
Exactly. Indiana just has really good players. They don't have quote unquote stars. They don't have those world beaters at the skill position. They just play really good sound football. And at the end of the day, sometimes you're going to need some Jimmys versus Joes and not just say, hey, we're going to stick to the X's and O's.
But let me just say this, because I feel like you're missing something. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you've seen the way that college football is looking, ain't no way you can stick to the, oh man, you got to do this and you got to do that anymore. I feel like you can literally grab the piece that you need. You can pinpoint, like, this is where I hurt, and I'm just gonna fix this part, and the rest of my body is gonna be okay. You can do that because of the current nature of college football, but y'all don't want to let that go. Why?
I don't have to. Because I mean that's a personal preference. But if you look at Ohio State last year, if you look at Ohio State last year, they weren't heavy portal. Yes, their quarterback came from the portal. I will give you that if that's the argument that you want to specifically make. But as a whole,
quarterback portal.
But as a whole, their team was built off high school, and that's all I'm saying.
But I don't know that, right? That's what I'm saying. But you're saying that you don't think that Kirk Cignetti can sustain always going to the portal for a QB, but you can see how top QBs at these top universities are leaving. You don't see the whole line leaving, but you're seeing the quarterbacks leave. So if that's what we're seeing in college football, that the top schools are losing their quarterbacks almost every year, then that seems like it could be sustainable. Because then it's not just like bums jumping into the portal. I'm talking about Georgia. Georgia got rid of Beck, and Beck went, and now he's on his way to go play for a national championship.
But hear me out. Though. You look at a team like Colorado. They are transfer portal heavy. This year they had to go for a transfer portal quarterback, and they didn't hit. Sometimes it is hit or miss. Unless you have the right foundation around you, it's not guaranteed to be successful. Indiana seems to have been doing pretty good, but we only have 2 years worth of
Where
data.
did
We don't
Fernando
know what
come from?
we don't know what it's gonna look like come 3 years from now.
Where did Fernando come from?
Cal Berkeley came from Cal,
Cal.
University of California. Yeah.
And what's funny is if you look at the kid at Cal, the freshman, SVP, SJP, or whatever his name is, they got a pretty good quarterback that's right that's there right now. So it's not like, you know what I'm saying, Cal is just, you know, bringing in trash quarterbacks.
But is Cal Group of A or the Power Four?
That lets me know you don't know college football.
I don't know college football. Help me out.
Cal right now is in the ACC. For whatever reason, they in the ACC. I don't like it, but it is what it is.
Okay. The reason why I asked that is because Colorado's quarterback was not Group of Four. Was not Power Four.
Correct. He came from Liberty.
Right. You see the difference?
Okay, so you saying so is your argument that Group of 5 quarterbacks can't be successful?
No, that's not my argument. I'm just saying, like, you're gonna have to, at some point, you're gonna have to get quality guys who were in good positions, as opposed to always having to get guys that you have to up coach, because there are quarterbacks that are making moves from top schools.
So
and if you had enough money, if you had enough money, you can go after some of these top guys, and you don't have to. I mean,
hey Tim,
coach them that much.
I'm gonna hand it off to you real quick. I just want to ask this question, Tim. If you're Deion Sanders right now, would you rather have Juju or would you rather have DJ Lagway right now?
Give me DJ Lagway.
Okay, thank you.
Isn't that my argument?
No,
Nah,
but
Juju,
the argument is, but specifically to Colorado, can Colorado get a DJ Lagway?
That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So Colorado's not necessarily competing on the level of a Kirk Cignetti, who like I think it was JR that just said, hey man, they got $65 million from whoever, and they can go out and spend money on a quality QB. I don't think Colorado is necessarily competing on those levels. I think that they're kind of competing with their budget. They don't have money. They have to get the best they can with the $2 they got.
Right, but what Phil's saying too to that, Harry, is like Miami is going to be looking for a quarterback come next season.
Right, but they've
like
also
Indiana,
been
right?
1 year wonders, 1 year hits. They've been
No.
twice already.
No, hold on.
Cam Ward was good. Beck is good.
Right.
So what are we talking about?
Hey, look, they both had winning seasons.
Yeah, exactly.
They both had winning seasons. So what I'm saying, what Phil is saying, is like they recruiting talented high school wide receivers. Like the talent that come out of Florida is unreal, bro. And I feel like the University of Miami is back. All they're gonna have to do is replenish quarterbacks, and I feel like they're gonna eventually go out there and get them a young freshman quarterback and develop him.
Yeah.
So think about it. So the argument that you're trying to make is that it's sustainable. Okay. The thread of this conversation right now has to do with what Kirk Cignetti doing? Is it sustainable? If it's sustainable for Miami, then how come it can't be sustainable for Kirk Cignetti?
My argument is not that it's sustainable. I'm asking, is it sustainable? Because we've only seen, but here's the thing though, Harry, we've only seen a 2 year example. Like for me, Phil So Real, Philip Harris Jr., I need to see at least a 5-year data point to say, hey, this is sustainable. This is going to be successful. Because when you have a new quarterback every year, I don't know how you're going to be able to be successful. And you can call me legacy and try to like downplay, like, quote unquote, my knowledge of college football.
Y'all have
whatever
had
the
a
case
bad
is.
year. Y'all legacy dudes. Y'all have had a bad year.
Okay, but Harry, but guess what?
This has not been your year.
Harry, listen, it's 1 year. I'll be 40. I'll be 40 this year. I've been watching college football for at the very least 30 years of those 40 years.
Okay.
Those 30 years
you was
have
10 when you
sustained
started.
me.
You was 10 when you started. Who was your team?
Okay, so when I very first started watching college football, it was Ohio State because I liked Jim Tressel because he had the sweater vest, and then I'm about to call him an N-word. Hey, he was clean. And Eddie George was playing. Eddie George was playing for Ohio State, and he had the real big shoulder pads. And I remember Charles Woodson playing for Michigan. You know what I'm saying? Playing both ways, and I hated Notre Dame because I was like, why does Notre Dame always get to play on NBC? And as I got older, I realized, you know what I'm saying? They independent. They got a sweetheart deal, whatever the case is. But Ohio State was my team. But then I started following Utah when Urban Meyer was there. Nick Saban when he was at LSU. Then obviously he went to Miami in the NFL. Then he went to Bama. But anyway, point being.
But what you remember is not what's happening now. What
it doesn't matter.
So look,
all I'm saying is I need more data points to say that.
I get it.
You can go to a transfer portal quarterback every year and still be successful.
I get it, but look, the transfer portal was has been around for at least 5 years, I think, or a little bit. June. 20.
Yeah, we can say.
Yeah. Almost 5 years. I think this
COVID
year
was
will
like
be
19.
5 years.
Yeah, right, like June 2020.
2021.
2021. Yeah,
I think it was even 2019 because it was around COVID.
It wasn't implemented.
We still got guys from the
that
COVID year.
It wasn't implemented to after the 2021 year, but 2019 it kind of started. But okay, but what I'm saying is, I will give you your argument 100% if the way that the transfer portal has been working hasn't been for quarterbacks, right? I don't understand why the nature of the quarterbacks have been top quarterbacks entering the portal after every season. You know what I'm saying? If that wasn't how it's been working for the past 5 years, then I would say, all right, you know what? I understand where you're coming from, and that legacy argument can withstand the test of time. But if you're getting top quarterbacks entering the portal every single year, then Kirk Cincinnati, what he's doing over there in Indiana, if he's just having to replace the quarterback, but keep in mind now, he's a genius. Whatever he's doing, he's keeping his O-line and his defensive line. He's one of the best recruiters of his own team than other teams that we've seen. So if he's just having to replace 2 or 3 people, then I can tell you that this is going to work.
But again, I'm not saying it is or it isn't. I'm saying I need to see more longevity of it. I need to see at least 3 more years of it working. Now, answer
me this question.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so the data
is this a good faith question or is this a BS question?
No, it's a journalist question. You know what I do here.
Okay, I'm just making sure now because you be, you know.
No, it's a data question.
Okay, go for it.
Do you see the transfer portal its trajectory, the way that is currently shaping out for quarterbacks? Do you see that changing?
What is your definition of changing? And I'm not trying to be funny. I want to make sure that I'm answering the question the way you intended to.
Cool. That means that the people that are spending the money on these people to jump into the portal, they're not something. They don't feel like, I think Yardman was saying, millionaires are going to get tired of paying money to these programs. They're going to get tired of putting money into the pockets of these kids, and the quarterbacks are not going to leave. Like they're going to be more. They're going to be more loyal to their programs, and they're going to start staying more in subsequent years. But if you know what I'm saying, so do you see that changing, or do you think it's going to get worse?
So the way I see it is, if you are a good quarterback and you had a reasonable year at the current team that you're at, I think those guys are going to stay. Now, if you have a situation where your coach leaves, your coordinator leaves, maybe the team had a bad
Why did
season or a
Ravioli
lesser
leave?
season. Say it one more time.
Ravioli, why did he leave?
I just think he didn't think that Nebraska was having the trajectory that he expected to. And when he got hurt, he saw that the backup cornerback that they had came in and had some success, and he didn't want to compete. Respectfully, I don't think I don't want to say Ravioli because I know that's not his name.
Yeah, that's
Raiola.
wild.
I don't think Raiola is a guy that really wants to compete. He's bounced around when he was in high school. He played in Beaufort here in Georgia. I just think he didn't see like the long-term vision in Nebraska, so he wanted to leave. And honestly, I don't think it's going to work out for him. I think he's going to be a person that
Where
we
he going?
forget about coming next season. Exactly. I have no idea. I think we're going to forget about him next year.
You think he gonna go to Georgia?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Bruh. I think hey Phil, with all due respect, I think y'all gotta look in the mirror and y'all gonna have to take those legacy shades off for a little bit so you can see clearly again. Because
I
y'all
could not care less about what you got to say about legacy.
I don't care. Listen, man. I'm trying to tell you. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you. Because if you look at what was the BYU? What was the BYU quarterback? I forget his name real quick. But son had
Brockmeyer, something like that.
Brockmeyer. Yeah, Bear Brockmeyer.
Okay. No. Who's the one that went to Tulane? What's the quarterback that went to Tulane? Was that him?
He went to Tulane.
I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about. He was the one that got caught up in the
Reslov, right? He's the one that was having extracurricular activities with.
He was out there soaking.
Man.
Okay. But he had a dope year. He took a step back, had a dope year. So I'm just saying, don't discount dudes moving around and having success, because if you look at what's the name, the Virginia quarterback, he had a pretty good year too. Tyson Chandler, he had a pretty good year. Dudes are moving. Chandler was the Virginia quarterback, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, from TCU.
So, right. He had a dope year. He was backing up Max Duggan. Who knows where Duggan is doing right now? Maybe he's in the Canadian League. I'm just saying, like, if
that's what Shedeur should be playing right now, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Why you gotta go there, man?
I know. I don't do it with them no more. If you want to confuse one of the Colorado guys, just throw in Shedeur in prime and watch them get rattled. That's not happening to me no more.
Hey, I ain't mad at Prime. Prime got him a young tenderoni, man. He got Carucci, man.
Yeah,
Phil, you know what I'm saying? He got Chris Brown's leftovers.
We're not doing this. Phil, we are not doing this, okay?
Hold on, man. He was weird.
We're not doing this. I'm trying to stick with the football. You're trying to get me off my culture.
People before Chris Brown.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen.
Put that on
listen,
Chris'
I need this laugh. Y'all don't know how much I need this to make my life better, to make my year better. So y'all gonna laugh with me and y'all gonna take it.
Hey man, listen,
I need this.
We're not gonna do that though. We're gonna have some serious football conversations here, because I'm giving you some serious data here that I didn't know a couple of years ago. I'm just telling you, I'm following the money, and I'm following the trend. The trend is that quarterbacks are the portal guys, top quarterback.
So Harry, I won't even argue against that, because last year, who won the national championship last year? Ohio State won the national championship.
Right.
That was a transfer quarterback, and then who won the national championship the year before that? I think that was Michigan. No,
Michigan won with
Michigan. No. Michigan was homegrown.
Yeah.
Then the year before that, who won?
It was Georgia.
It was Georgia.
Yeah. And what's the name?
Stetson Bennett. Then the year before that, it was Georgia again, Stetson Bennett. Then the year before that, it was Joe Burrow. transfer portal quarterback. So all I'm saying is,
so the data is proving my argument.
No, it's not, because it's only half. It's only 2 out of 4 of the past 4 years.
Oh, but you don't think half is enough? How many times you got? People don't even win championships.
Because
successful guys don't even win championships. If you got half, you don't think that supports an argument to get half of a championship?
No, because I'm asking for longevity. I'm asking for longevity. I need to see at least 5 years.
We're talking about sports where there are successful programs that never smell.
But guess what, Harry? But guess what, Harry? You missing it. You got 3 teams out of the 4 that's left. They got transfer quarterbacks. Oregon is the only one. Actually, no, all 4 quarterbacks were in the transfer portal, because Dante Moore, who's at Oregon right now, he was at UCLA to start off, and then he went to Oregon. Mendoza transferred.
Was Dante Moore successful?
And that's true.
Yeah, he was successful. But all I'm saying
at
is,
UCLA,
you have an opportunity to prove me wrong.
How is that not supporting my argument?
Because you're not using it as an argument. I'm using it to help you.
Dante Moore was not
because you're helping me. I can't use it.
No.
What?
Because
that is my argument.
If you can't stand on it and cite it, you don't believe in it, Harry.
What do you mean? I'm telling you, that's my argument, and you're sitting here assisting my argument and saying, because I stole it from you, you can't use it against me. What are you talking about?
I'm not saying you stole it. I'm saying you're not using it.
I'm saying you're assisting me by making my point, and I'm pointing it out, and you're saying no, because you're saying it, I can't use it now. What are you talking about?
Okay, you know what? Let's do this. I give you that. I will give you that. I will have a good faith conversation.
Exactly. You're the honest conversation guy, and I'm telling you that if that is the case, where a lot of teams that are successful are using transfer portal quarterbacks for the past couple of years, then that is exactly the reason why this is going to be successful for teams.
But at the end of the day, where's the bulk of their recruiting come from? High school. If you
no. This is not an at-large argument about recruiting. So, because if you go there, then yes, I would have to concede.
If your argument is specifically to the quarterback position,
that is
then I can say, yeah, you know what? Over the past couple of years, transfer quarterback. Yeah. If you hit, you hit. But guess what? It's only one team that win a championship every year. There are other teams that have transfer quarterbacks that don't hit.
Oh, but there's a lot of successful teams that have won championships. Keep in mind that.
But it's only one every year, Harry.
Successful teams don't really go to the championship. A lot of successful teams in college football that don't smell nothing the championship. Look at Oregon. All right, look at Oregon. A lot of successful teams out there that don't smell those champions. But if you look at the quarterback position, the last couple of years, or at least the last decade, as you just pointed out, the quarterbacks
4 years is not a decade, Harry. Come on now. I know you're from Liberia, but
5 years of 4 years is 10 years. I know, but that's a sports argument. You can throw it all together and make your point. You know how that's how that works.
That's a crazy roundup, though, Harry. A couple of years to a decade. Hey, come on, man.
Thank you, JR. Thank you, JR.
Come on,
I appreciate it.
You're not supposed to catch that.
A couple years to a decade?
I know, but you ain't supposed to catch that. It's a sports bar. It's a barbershop talk. You're just supposed to just go with it.
Brought that up clean. Yeah, man. I mean, it's a couple of years, man. You might as well say a decade. What? That's crazy, man.
Oh yeah. I got a prime question, Phil. I don't know if you was here, but I want you to answer this question. If you know that Prime is doing it the right way now, is this possible? How do we know that Prime is doing it the right way? Because I feel like Prime does not have a coaching tree that he can glean on, and every year he's having to replace coaches or at least staff. You can't keep replacing coaches or staff as much as you replace players. That means that you are not building a sustainable program in Colorado What is your thoughts on that, Phil?
So okay. So I just want to be clear. What is your specific question? I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Is what Prime building, is it heading in the right direction now, or is he ever going to be able to build a sustainable program at Colorado?
No, I don't think you can sustain a team building, 75% of your team in the transfer portal. I don't think that you can sustain a healthy team with guys who have played in the NFL but have not coached college football. And I think we got to be honest. College football is a different beast than playing in the NFL. Long story short, no, I don't think Colorado is moving in the right direction. No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. I think what's happening this year with the new offensive coordinator, I'm excited to see what happens. But as a whole, I don't think Deion Sanders is doing what it takes to be a successful coach in college football. And I'll just leave it at that.
What does he need to do to be a successful college football coach?
He needs to hire more white guys on his staff.
So you think black people can coach football?
It's too much buddy stuff. I do think Brennan is going to be a good hire, but he got too many he got too many homeboys on his team.
He got a few white guys on the staff, man. The offensive line coach.
I thought it was equal now. Or it could be more. I think it's a lot of vanilla in that room.
He got a few analysts that white. Pat Shermer.
I think Pat Shermer is still
white. I mean, how many white people you want?
Yeah, how many white people do you need?
No, hey, but you know what? No, I want to be very clear. I want Colorado to have black coordinators,
all white people,
decent coordinators. But as far as everybody else, he needs some people that he ain't cool with. He don't need homeboys.
You don't like black people, do you? You're racist.
That's
no,
crazy.
I love black people. I'm Dr. Umar Jr. What you talking about?
I don't see no dashiki over there.
I'm like, as I start running down all the white people that was on staff, I was like,
I know.
Wait a minute now.
I don't know that the numbers. I think it's still. I think you saw one black person and you spazzing out. You saw one black guy and you spazzing because it's more whites now than there are black people. Do you mean white linemen? Because I support that argument.
I have had that conversation. I said I need some guys that's gonna wear some short sleeves when it's cold outside.
We need some white linemen. I give you that.
I would support that. I need more white players. There's too many black dudes. They're athletic, but they're not ready, bro.
Yeah,
we need some Matt McChesney's on the line. We need some white atheist tattooed far right leaning.
Give me one
Charlie
of them at linebacker
believing guys on the team. That's what we need.
Let me get a few of them on the line. Let me get one of them at linebacker.
There you go.
And I think we'll be good. You get one of them at linebacker, get about two of them on the line. We'll be good.
We need one at fullback too. We need a fullback and a tight end.
And the fullback is there, man. We're not going backwards. We don't need a fullback. We need that in a tight end, not a fullback. Fullbacks are dead. We got tight ends now to replace them.
Now I do agree with you on that.
Ain't no more fullbacks. They're called tight ends now.
They can use a little bit of a sprinkle of whiteness across that offensive line.
Okay, so y'all want to vanillify Colorado a little bit more.
I mean, to me, I just think, and I know a lot of people, especially, I support Prime, but I think his messaging just didn't reach across the aisle with the players this year. Right.
No, because you can't keep talking about chitlings and expect everybody to like chitlings. I mean, and everybody's poor. Like everybody's not poor.
Exactly.
It's not chitlings. It's chitlings.
Chitterlings. Yeah. I think he kind of missed with that. By preaching to some of the players, because some of the guys you're bringing in, they're not growing up in a single parent home. Like,
Yeah, man.
you know,
Exactly.
so
Exactly.
I think he missed with that this year.
So does that mean he's out
Now,
of touch?
uh, I just think he gotta definitely like self-analyze, like, how am I projecting to my team? Because
Hey,
yes, there's a struggle, but everybody don't have the same struggle. So you telling me about how you grew up, that's your struggle. I'm in a completely different two-parent household, middle class neighborhood. Is that really a struggle? So if you saying that to me, that doesn't resonate. Don't sit the same, right?
So he's he
real quick, real
go
quick
ahead.
here. I gotta go. The baby done woke up. He was taking a nap. Um, I appreciate the time. I love each and every one of y'all, man. Like y'all, my brothers. I thank y'all so much, man. Like y'all made 2025 so special for me, and believe it or not, man. Like y'all keep me moving forward. Y'all keep my head on the swivel, and I appreciate
Salute.
it. I hope y'all have nothing but success in 2026, man. I don't want nothing but happiness for y'all. And that's all I'm asking for y'all. That's all my prayer is. I love y'all and I hope y'all have a wonderful year. I'm about to jump off, but thank you so much, Harry. I hope that this channel triples, quadruples, quintillion goes up. You know what I mean? I just
It
I, I
will.
just I just want success for you, big dog.
And we're gonna
And
win.
JR
From
and
a
JR,
few
I don't
years
want
to a
nothing but success
decade.
for you too, man. So
Appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all, man. I hope y'all have a
JR
good
about to
year,
be
man.
back in the
Thank y'all
school
for the
system
time.
working, man. He about to be working back in the school system doing
Hey,
some
my
therapy.
my my my
Yep.
wife is a
Come
teacher.
back March.
My mom taught for some odd years. I've been around teachers my whole life. Every was a joke that I have is every roommate that I've had has been either a teacher or a child of a teacher. My mom was a teacher when I went to college. My roommate, his mom was a teacher, and then I had a new roommate who was my cousin. His dad was a teacher, and then when I
Wow.
moved off campus, my homeboy, his mom was a teacher, and then when I moved, when I graduated and I moved back in with my mom, she was a teacher, and then when I started dating my wife and we were shacking up, she's a teacher. I've always been around educators my whole life, so I ain't got nothing but love for educators, man. So I wish you nothing but the best with that.
Hey, salute, man. Thanks for coming on. Hey, man, look, we're gonna turn up in 2026. We are expanding the whole spectrum of college football talk. And Phil, you know what we got behind the scenes. You know what I'm working on
Oh
behind the
yeah, I'm
scenes.
looking forward to it, man. Hey,
Yeah, man.
it's gonna be nice, man. It's gonna be nice. Hey, y'all,
I'm not gonna
y'all,
reveal it
y'all
yet.
better y'all better look out, man. Harry finna change the game, man.
For sure. I'm working on some crazy stuff, man. We gonna listen, man. Like I've been trying to tear myself away from Colorado so that we can have some serious college football talks. And I've been learning. I've been trying to keep up, trying to learn the game. But hey, Phil, thanks for coming on. I do appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for adding your voice to the conversation, making it interesting in 2025, and we're gonna make 2026 even better than that. So we
All right,
do
man. Y'all,
appreciate you, man. Hey,
all
tell
right, man.
Nugget we said what up and Happy New Year.
I got you, man. Y'all be blessed, man.
Peace out. Peace out.
All right.
Hey, JR Boxing, I don't want to leave this Deion Sanders thing alone. I don't want to like, I don't want to make it seem like we are against Prime now. When he's down, we're gonna kick him, right? I don't want that. I don't want it to become that, right? Because everybody's piling on, and Prime told us, he warned us. He was like, hey man, look, the fan, you're only hot when the fan is blowing, right? Or whatever he said. So how can we make this conversation not against Prime? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to phrase the question, but I feel like everybody's piling on because Prime didn't win. Because obviously, if he won, then a lot of his flaws could have been band-aid, but because he didn't win, all of his flaws are right in front center. How can we not make it feel like, oh, Prime he's not good at what he's doing?
I think you just said it right there at the end, man. You got to win, right?
Mm.
Winning cures all, and that's across all sports, from professional to amateurism sport. Like if you're winning, Like, no matter what's going on in the facility, if you manage to come out on a Saturday and win a football game, nobody else cares. Unless if you pull in a Sharon Moore type situation, right? then you asking for it. But if you're winning and you're not, disrespecting people in the process of doing that, but maybe there's some cultural issues, maybe there's some locker room issues. That's across all sports. You're gonna be on a national championship team and you're gonna have some locker room issues. I'm a big basketball guy. Bruce Pearl, he no longer coaches the University of Auburn, but he prior coached at the University of Tennessee for a long time. Then he took a break. Then he went to Auburn University and he coached. They said that his players last year were on a chartered flight fighting on the plane. Fighting on the plane. So what I'm saying is, to say all of that, this type of stuff happens, man. You're going to have discourse between players. You're going to have discourse between coaches. Some players feel that they're better than other players that are in front of them. Coaches are not evaluating the correct way. All of that stuff happens. But if you come out there and you manage to win on a Saturday, it don't matter. You're winning, right? So he got to win, like you said at the end. If he wins, everything else will take care of itself. Recruiting will go up. Fan attendance will go back up. TV airtime will go back up. All of that stuff happens when you win. But if you start losing, then, it's easy to poke and pull apart. It's easy for people to pull away. It's easy for young men to get information outside of the locker room. But when they were 9-4, you didn't really hear about Matt Zenit saying this is coming from Colorado Pro. You didn't hear about that. You didn't hear about leaks when you're 9-4. You're 3-9. It was a lot of leaks this year. So you got to win, man.
So, yeah, man, because I feel like, the transfer portal talk, not too many legacy guys believe in the transfer portal recruiting, but the teams that win, it's hard for you to really keep, using the same argument that the transfer portal doesn't work when you got Miami who's using it, you got Indiana that's using it to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
But if Cignetti was not winning, PG, what up with you, big dog? If Cignetti was not winning, people would be poking holes in his system.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the people will be poking so much holes. You're like, oh man, look how many transfer portal people he got. But I feel like there's a big difference from Cignetti, what he's doing, what Miami's doing, from what Prime is doing. I just feel like, I don't know if Prime really wants this, if he really wants to do this. He keeps saying he wants to do it, but yet every year, bro, your staff is not loyal to you. You know what I'm saying? It's like either they're not loyal or they're not your friends, because you keep losing them. How you keep losing friends? Like, you can't keep, like, if you look at Lane Kiffin, man, the people that are playing in the playoffs right now, they can't wait to get back to him. Man, that's the feeling I want for Prime. I really wanted Prime to win. He's such a good person. He has a big heart. He has a great message, but nobody's loyal to him.
Yeah, I mean, that's a hard thing to get from people, but I kind of see what you're saying. But I think, if you'd ask me, is it going in the right direction now? Look, I'm optimistic on that. But when you have deficiencies in the team and you have to correct the deficiency, like that's a hard pill to swallow. Now, I can't talk about the Sean Lewis thing because I don't know a lot about that. It's all speculation. Shedeur wasn't coachable for Sean Lewis, or they didn't get along, or they butted heads, or whatever. That's all speculation. I don't know. I wasn't in the locker room, so I can only go off of speculation, right? But then you had Charles Kelly there. The defensive concepts didn't really work, right? So you move on from Charles Kelly and you bring in Robert Livingston. Now, Robert Livingston improves the defense his first year, But then in the second year,
he
they
doesn't
take a
have the
big
staff.
step back. Yeah. So I don't know, what that looks like. So I mean, I think with him keeping Robert Livingston and saying, all right, look, you got another shot to get this together. Because you can't be no worse than what you were this year. You were second to last. So
Right.
if you second to last again, you probably fired mid-season. So there has to be a quick turnaround for Rob Livingston. I couldn't imagine him being the defense giving up 400 yards of offense to the opposing team game after game, and you keep your job for the entire year going forward this year. I can't imagine that happening. So he would have to improve.
But
So
look how they play Georgia Tech in the beginning of the season. Like,
yeah,
doesn't the first half of the season look different from the second half of the season? I feel like they lost the locker room. The first half of the season, everybody was locked in. And then something transpired in the second half of the season, and they lost the locker room. That's when guys was like, yo, I'm out of here. Like, I'm leaving.
I think some of the coaching mechanics were off, even in the Georgia Tech game. Because you go back and look at Georgia Tech, it was close, but Georgia Tech made a lot of mistakes. Haynes King fumbled the ball, then somebody else fumbled the ball. They had
but he
3 turnovers in the first.
You're not making those mistakes on your own. You're not at home making mistakes. Somebody's causing you to make mistakes.
I believe all of the Georgia Tech turnovers were self-imposed.
Bro.
Yeah, to me they were.
They weren't.
If we would sit down,
Colorado's team this year was fast and physical.
To me, if we were to sit down and look at the game together, you telling me a mesh with the quarterback and the running back, that's Colorado caused that? No, they just missed the mesh. He tried to pull the ball, boom, you fumble. He running with the ball, he fumble. Like, it's stuff like that. It wasn't like a big hit that caused the fumble. Nobody stripped the ball and caused the fumble. It was just like uncharacteristic things that happen. It happens in football, like it happened. So they still gave up if you look at rushing yard.
If you look at how they ended their season, Georgia Tech, that meant that their team was like that was their team. That's the team they had because that's how they finished.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia Tech was a middle of the road team. A lot of people made a lot of, they took Georgia to like 4 overtimes. Well, that's a rivalry game for them. So some years it's going to be a really good game, and then some years Georgia going to go in there and blow the doors off of them, right? But that's rivalries. That's what happens. Ohio State won a national championship, lost to Michigan. It's a rivalry game. That's what happens, right? So for me, I just look at, if you ask me, Colorado started the same on defense, giving up 200 yards a game on the ground. They ended the season giving up 200 yards on the ground. Yeah. Nothing changed defensively. It looked the same. Guys look out of place. They didn't look well coached up. And that falls on Coach Prime and Robert Livingston. You gotta correct that.
But you know what it felt? It felt like they didn't have a locker room. I felt like there was no leadership, like Wild Dog was telling us. There was no player leadership. It was just a bunch of mercenaries trying to get their stats up so that they can leave and get a bigger bag. And then that's what it seemed like. It seemed like those mercenaries, they got their stats up, and now they can go to other teams and become like a Colton Hood, you know what I'm saying? And become like a Nakai Hill Green or whatever. Because now you got McKinney going. Where's he going?
Who knows? But it was, it's kind of hard, man. And I think Coach Prime learned a hard lesson. Look, you're hitting the transfer portal hard. You're bringing in guys. You're spending a lot of money. You expect ROI, right? Harry, if we go into business together, your expectation is going to be some type of ROI. They did not get that back. So we go in the transfer portal and we paying $500,000 to a linebacker to come in and produce like you did at your last school, and you're not. Then you got to kind of look, okay, is it just that young man or is it coaching, right? We got cornerbacks. Is it the cornerback that's not producing or is it the coach? So I think some of the concepts kind of blurred together. But if you look at the NFL game, typically money plays on the field. Typically. Like, could you imagine the Cleveland Browns sitting down Myles Garrett and he making $40 million a year? You'd be like, no way. He gonna play. You
Or
got one leg, go out there and play. Right.
or
So
Carolina sitting T Mac and playing
yeah, you
Jimmy
know what I'm
Horn.
saying? And play money typically plays. So I think that's what happened with Colorado a little bit this year. I think they got caught up in, hey, we're bringing in these guys. They got a lot of production. But when you evaluate in talent and combination of players on the field, like they learning a whole new scheme, whole new coaching dynamics from the position coach, and they missed the mark right there, big time. All across the board, from offensive line, from wide receiver to defensive line, like they missed the mark on a lot. And I think this year, in order to get it right, like, cool, you bringing in more guys from the transfer portal, you're going to spend a little money, but I think the evaluation has to be what the evaluation is. If a guy is not being productive in practice or whatever your coaching characteristics that you want to see from players, then don't put them on the field and just keep it moving.
All right, so I got two final questions, two final things I want to discuss before we get up out of here. Let's get your prediction. Oregon, Indiana, who moves forward?
This is a repeat. They played earlier in the year. Well, not early in the year. I want to say they played like maybe October or something. I'm gonna give it to Indiana, man. And the reason why is coaching stability. Again, I spoke about it earlier. Signetti has a way of keeping his coaching staff together. Now, I don't think he'll be able to keep them together past this 2026 season.
Wait.
Some people
How is coaching stability affecting that game? What are you talking about?
You look at Oregon, both their offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. Offensive coordinator got hired at Kentucky. Defensive coordinator got hired at, I want to say, Arkansas or something like that, one of them schools. So those guys are trying to build their staff. The transfer portal window is open. So it's a lot of moving pieces with the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator. So I think Indiana's stability as far as their coaches able to just hone in and give all their time uninterrupted to game planning, I think that is going to be more beneficial to Indiana. So give me Indiana.
Ole Miss and Miami.
Ole Miss. Same thing. Give me Miami. Again, coaching stability. Ole Miss, it's reports now saying that Lane Kiffin is like, this transfer portal is open. So the people that's on this offensive staff that's leaving Ole Miss, y'all need to be bucking up and getting a Baton Rouge like now, right? Hey, good job. Y'all won a Sugar Bowl, but we need y'all back, or the Chick-fil-A people, whatever bowl they won just recently. Congratulations. We need to start hitting this transfer portal. We need to start doing this, because college football is a 365 type job. So
yeah, it is.
I don't know if you've seen them early report. Exactly. I don't know if you've seen them early reports, but Lane Kiffin, hand clapped, sent out a tweet, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. It was a few hours later, reports, Lane Kiffin already saying certain coaches not going to be able to work during that game specifically because he needs them to start ushering in his style of LSU football for that program. So give me Miami, man. Give me the stability.
Yeah, me too. I like Yardman says IU versus Miami. I see IU versus Miami as well. It would have to take a whole heck of a lot of effort for Ole Miss to be Miami's defense. And I think Miami's defense and their serviceable offense eventually pulls it off. But their defense is reminiscent of the old Miami days where football wasn't necessarily about conference; it was about the team.
Yeah,
right. Because I don't remember college football being about conference. We didn't talk that much about conference back in the day as we did the team. You had to face Miami. It didn't matter what conference they were in. You had to go face them. You know what I'm saying? You had to play Miami. Nowadays, it's more so about SEC. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to see the SEC. You don't want to see the Big Ten. But nah, bro.
Nah, yeah, Miami got it, man. And you
Miami's
know
the
what
problem. That
you know what
defense,
I
bro, you
hate?
see how big those dudes are?
That
Good God.
bruh, what I hate the most is that you had Damian Lewis on staff as a defensive line coach. So he over the whole defensive line.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he goes back to his alma mater. You know, that's your heart is where you graduate, or wherever your affiliation with your school is. Cool.
Right.
He went to Miami to be the defensive tackles coach, not the D line coach. He's the
Right.
defensive tackle coach. So you're a position coach. So you go from leading a room completely to leading one specific part of the defensive line.
Right.
And I'm like, how could Coach Prime let that walk out the door? I would be like, what we got to do, man? We got to add 25% to your salary, 50% to your salary. We need you to stay, because the type of production that they had the year when Damian Lewis was there, you lead the Big 12 in sacks. You couldn't run on them. Going to this, you could see the missing, part of that. The recruiting, they were able to hit on 2 IMG top tier kind of talents coming out of high school. You hit on some transfer portal guys, and then it just completely fell off.
Hey,
from
listen,
there,
man, it's always that top guy, because when you hot, like, you know what? When the book comes out or the documentary or whatever they're doing over there at Netflix or Amazon, when that comes out, I'm telling you, I don't know if Coach Prime is going to be self-reflective, but a lot of that stuff has to do with when you hot, the way you talk to people is different.
Yeah, man. Like
I'm telling you, when things are going well and you're getting $10 million, the way you talk to people, man, you're gonna have to figure it out. Like, hey, I need you. But if you think you too hot for the next guy, they can feel that.
Exactly, bro. Because that's what I would have said to D. Lou. Because I'm, D. Lou. Hey, look, man. Mario Cristobal. He asked me to come, man. We played together. That's my brother. Him, Jason Taylor. Yada yada yada. We trying to get the gang back together. And I'm from that area, so I think I'm gonna just go ahead and go back to Florida, man. If I'm Coach Prime, I look at D. Lou in the eyes and say what you said, Harry. I need you, man.
Yeah.
What I got to do to keep you? I need you.
Yeah.
Me, Robin.
And forget about you having a big heart and letting. Listen, forget about you having a big heart and not stepping in people's ways. Nah, you're gonna have to close that chapter.
Bro, for real, bro.
If you need somebody, you're gonna have to stop their trajectory. You can't be like, I ain't gonna hold nobody back, man. I want a black man to win. Hell no.
Because I could understand it, Harry, if it was D. Lewis leaving to be the defensive coordinator at Miami. Okay, so you promoting yourself. I understand. My brother ain't gonna stand in your way because I can't make you the defensive coordinator here.
Right.
Well, I could, but that'd be controversial within itself. So I get it. No, you left where you the complete line coach. It's not a lateral move. You actually just took a small little dip down from a duty title position. Now the money may be more at Miami, but the duty title, right? You took a step down in duty title. So I'm like, Coach Prime, you got to be like, nah, I need you, dog. And we willing to give you 25% extra on your. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll kick out the back end out of my 10 million, bro. What you need? I'll give you an extra 500,000 to keep you.
I will, because it's not about the money for me. It's about making sure that I'm building a program. But that's again, I'm going to have another show or subsequent shows because I need that question to be answered. I don't know what Prime is building. Maybe I might have to reach out to somebody in Colorado to try to understand, that can give me some content or some idea of, are they really doing it right now? I need to know. I don't think I have the answer to that question yet. I need the answer to that question. Are you guys doing it the right way now? Are you building a coaching tree? Are you starting to put the tree together the right way? Because the guys that are coming, they cannot be mercenaries. If you keep getting mercenaries are ambitious and they want to be the head guy somewhere else.
Yeah.
So they're gonna keep using you, and you're gonna have to keep, Colorado cannot sustain this Lovo guy, whatever his name is, this Spanish guy that's coming through now as the AD.
Yeah.
he's going to have to make some tough decisions. Either you're going to have to get rid of Prime and bring in a coach that has a tree, that's part of a tree, or that knows how to build a tree. Yeah. Prime does not know how to build a tree. So you're going to have
he don't know how to build a tree because he is the tree. You know what I'm saying? And that's
he's not the tree either.
No, he is the tree. A lot of the connections.
Maybe he wants to be the only part of the tree. He wants to be all parts of the tree.
No.
Explain it to me. Let me understand it.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to be all parts of the tree, but I think Prime is the tree himself. Like, he's the root of the tree. He's the stalk of the tree, and he has a lot of branches that branch off of him. Like, a lot of people, hey, I got into coaching because of this, or I got business. The assessment would be
he's not a good tree.
I think he's a good tree. Now,
no, when it comes to coaching, Prime sucks as a tree.
No, I mean, because if you
think about it, I'm not trying to knock on Prime, but think about it. Yeah. What's been going on? If you're the tree and your branches keep falling off, then your roots are rotten. Think about it. Just think about how the trees grow naturally, right? If you're the tree and every single year your branches are falling off, your OCs, your DCs, you're replenishing every part of the tree, the most important parts of the tree every single year, you're not a good tree. You're a Mayberry bush. What's that tree that Jesus told to if you're not gonna have no fruits, then you gotta wither away. I forget what the name of the tree is.
Yeah, I forget. It leaves me now.
It's like what the heck was the tree that Jesus was like, you're not making no fruits, then I'm going to have to you got to wither away. I forget. But if you're saying Prime is the tree, then we got a problem, bro. Are you sure Prime is the tree?
I think he's the tree, man. And
then he's a bad tree, bro.
If you ask about a tree in the forest, it's been there hundreds of years. Now, you don't know how the tree got there. It's just a tree. It's just always been there.
Okay.
Right? Compared to, now we're planting a tree. And now you got to watch the tree grow up. For instance, like what's the Oregon coach name?
Dan Lanning.
So
he's coming from Saban's thing.
Saban's tree, right? But now he's sprouted to his own tree because now his position coaches are going to be trees somewhere else. But you've seen the maturation process of that tree grow. Like in a new neighborhood, you go to a brand new neighborhood, all the trees are brand new. They're small, little scrawny trees. But you go back to that neighborhood 30, 50 years from now, you're like, damn, these some big trees, man. How these trees? Or you go to a forest and you just see the tree. Prime is the tree, right? He's the tree. Everybody else branches off of him from other things, business ventures, getting into coaching, going to go do this, development, artist development, NBA. Prime got his hands in like dabbled in like so many other things. So he always been like the tree. And people have always like fed off of him. They've always ate off of his fruit.
You're not describing, what you're describing is not a college football coaching tree. You're describing a businessman. I'm talking about college football coaching tree. If you are saying that Prime is the college football coaching tree for Colorado, then Prime is not a good tree. Prime is he's a dead tree.
That's what I'm saying, Harry. You're asking somebody to be a tree, like you're asking him to. We need you to sprout to be this coaching tree and have these coaches and do all of this and stuff like that. But you don't go to a forest and be like, I wonder how long this tree been here. You just know it's been a fixture in this forest for I don't know how many years.
Let me challenge you on keep the narrative that we're talking about, keep it straight, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you go to a tree and it's the orange, you know the tree by its fruits, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is how you're able to tell what type of tree you're looking at. If you see an orange, you know it's an orange tree. If you see grapes, you know it's a grape tree, right? Now, you know how healthy the tree is by its branches and its roots, right? how deep it is in the ground. That's how you know how healthy the tree is. If we were to keep this narrative and this thing going, Coach Prime is a dead tree. I'm not. This is not a knock against him as a person. I'm saying if we were to keep the narrative and the idea, the analogy of a tree, Coach Prime loses his branches every year. Coach Prime is not able to reach back and pull anything from another coaching the fraternity. He doesn't have that. He has to depend on other people. Coach Prime is a bad tree. That what you're describing, he's a bad tree. He's not a good tree because you can't tell what his fruits are, and he's not producing good fruits.
I would, and my argument to that is that
keep the analogy of a tree and how a tree grows naturally.
Within the analogy, I'm looking at Coach Prime as the tree, going back to his grassroots like days. Now, you may not say he may not be a high yielding tree. He may not be a fruitful tree, but I look at him as a tree. When you look at his coaching, everybody like to look at the Pop situation of, well, he not like people not necessarily staying here. People are leaving and people are going other places. Okay, he's still allowing, and let me not say allowing, because allowing is like you're asking for permission. He is still fruitful in his ways of, look, man, if your end goal is to be a head coach, I'm not standing in your way of that, right? If your end goal is to be a coordinator or something like that, I'm not standing in the way of that, because he has some homegrown coaches on his staff that's been with him since Jackson State. Now, are they fruitful? That remains to be seen, right? Because
it was a fig tree that Jesus cursed. The fig tree.
The fig tree. Gotcha.
Right. But if you think about the tree analogy, then what you're describing, okay, let's put it this way. If we look at Whittingham, Kyle Whittingham, who's now the Michigan coach, right? Or you look at let's go to Dilling. Let's go to Dilling from Arizona State, the Sun Devils. Okay. I believe he has a staff and people that are growing with him. When I look at these guys, I'm looking at coaches that have, that have healthy trees. They just need like Dillingham. Dillingham. He's like, look, give me some money. I think Selmo just says NIL. He's like, look, I just need one donor to donate $20 million, and we would be where we need to be at. His thing is not about, does he have the right staff? He just needs the money to get the right players, and he can coach them, right? So when I'm looking at Prime and I'm seeing all of these movements, the same movement as the kids versus the staff is always being shuffled the same way that the kids get shuffled. I'm just looking at like, dang, bro, like, bro, you don't even have, like, your staff is not even cohesive. You gotta have, if the staff is in place and they're just trying to do their best to get the kids and to keep what they can keep, then that I'll understand. But you can't lose the same amount of staff that you're losing as you're losing kids. That's a fig tree.
Yeah, to me, like I said, I think it started more so with Coach Prime. He has a tree, but if I'm a tree and I'm like, all right, I'm about to pack up my house and I'm taking my tree with me to my new neighborhood, that's not the model that's going to happen, because what happens with a lot of the coaches, right? The Dan Lannings, the Kirby Smarts, the stuff like that, when they get their job, they bring in their staff, and
They
then
bring
their
in their people.
coordinator,
But
and
Coach
then
Prime
their
ain't got no people.
coordinators bring in their people.
Mhm.
Coach Prime brought in position coaches with
That's
him.
a tree. That's a real tree.
Yeah.
What you just described is the real tree of coaching. That's what I'm talking about.
But wait, but Harry, so Coach Prime, when he first got to Colorado, he brought coaches with him. And he had to go and get the
Where are they
coordinators.
now?
They're still there. Coach Rashad, still there. The offensive line coach, who's now the offensive line coach. He's the offensive line coach there. He came as a position coach, as a grad assistant.
And
or
they've had the worst offensive line.
But that's what I'm saying.
Since they've been there.
But we're not talking about what they produce. We're just talking about a tree. Now, if you want it to be a high yielding tree,
yeah,
a tree that's being fruitful
I guess,
every year. Okay, then
you want a tree to be fruitful.
That's a topic for another conversation. That's a topic for another conversation. But what I'm saying is, just as far as a tree, he's always been a tree. He's always brought people along with him. But
he's not even a garden flower.
but the way, shout out to Yard Man. But the way he went about it initially, like if he would have got there and all right, well, we coming and we just bringing a whole staff with us from Jackson State. TC Taylor gonna be the offensive coordinator. This is how we going about it. This and the third. He brought a lot of position coaches with him.
But remember, I started this. Remember, I started this by telling you that he doesn't know how to build the tree, because if what you're saying,
this is what had a tree.
Okay, but listen, the tree that he had was not a good tree, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. Coach Prime did not have a good tree, right? But that's the whole point.
But you initially you said he doesn't have a tree. He does have a tree. Now,
no, I said that Coach Prime
yielding. You later went to say it's not a good tree. But what's your good tree? Because like I said, a tree in a forest, you go to a tree in a forest, it's a tree. It's been there all this time. What is it yielding? What is it producing? But you know it's been there. You go to a tree in a new neighborhood and you put up an apple tree and you're like, well, I know this is going to be apples or this is going to be a pecan tree, so it's going to yield something every year. That's a different thing, right? But a tree that's been in the forest the whole time, you don't know what it yields. You just know it's a tree. And it got branches. The branches fall off, but it's still...
No.
With the seasons and everything.
But you know the story of the fig tree. That's why the tree got cursed, because you go to the fig tree, you hungry, you're trying to pluck some fruit to eat, and then the fig tree is not yielding the fruit that it was meant to yield, and you're like, then what is your purpose? If you're not yielding the fruit that you're supposed to yield, i.e. college football, coaching, you grow every year. From year to year, you're making improvement and you got a good tree. If you're not a viable tree, then that tree got to come down. You can't go into a forest and look at a tree and say, well, I don't know what you're supposed to be, and be like, oh yeah, but I know you're a tree. I mean,
I don't think the tree has to. I don't think the tree has to come down, but repurpose of the tree, yeah. Well, whatever.
The tree got cursed by Jesus. Jesus said, if you are a fig tree and I can't get nothing from you, then you get up out of here.
But people are getting stuff from him. I said, the tight end coach that just left CU, he's now the offensive coordinator of Nevada. So he went from being an offensive analyst at Jackson State to being an offensive coordinator 1 year to then being a wide receiver coach at University of Colorado to being a tight ends coach. Now he's an offensive coordinator at Nevada. Is that not a tree within itself? Now, like I said, you may be saying, well, it's not a high-yielding tree.
But this is what I mean.
High-yielding, but it's still a tree.
This is what I mean, right? It's not you get rid of your branches to go be successful other places. What I mean is that you're not grooming people. Your job is not to groom. If that's your job, then you become an AD. right? Like you're not here to groom people for other people to be successful with. If you
Harry,
are,
that's a part.
if you are
Harry,
a
that's
success,
coaching. That's
well, no,
coaching,
okay.
Harry.
So
Coaches
listen,
move around like
this is
every
what
2 years. That's coaching. What's Signetti doing? Got everybody upside down. It got everybody upside down, bro.
what do you mean?
What's it? Because the success that Signetti is having, everybody's like, well, I mean, his staff is together and this and that. I guarantee
Well,
you,
I'm not
next
thinking about
year,
Cincinnati. I'm thinking
that
about
staff will not be together because
that's
the
fine.
people on that staff are going to want other opportunities.
Well, no. That's fine. What I'm saying is, look, maybe I'm overanalyzing it, but let me just say this: you got a bunch of guys that are looking for opportunities in their 1 year, their U-Hauls, their rentals, 1 year rental guys. Every year you can't tell me every single year you're replacing your OCs, right? If you're replacing these guys every single year, then what are you building? When you're building something, you want guys to be in your program or with your system for a couple of years. Let y'all win together, and then they can start moving around looking for opportunities. But every single year, bro, you're losing your key guys.
But you said the one common denominator that will keep people together: winning. Winning keeps people together.
But,
now, when you lose,
y'all can win together.
Harry,
you're supposed to have a tree, a good, healthy tree is going to eventually find ways to win together. But how can you win together when you're losing key parts every single year?
If Pat Shermer stayed as the offensive coordinator, would you be optimistic about this upcoming year? Would you be like, oh,
Pat Shermer is not a part of Coach Prime's coaching tree?
But he is a part of the tree. Now, is he an add-on to the tree? Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Now, he didn't come up with Coach Prime got that bridge from something else.
Every coach doesn't do it like that. You think Signetti just organically just grew his staff? No, they came from other places too.
Yeah, but look,
you think Lane Kiffin? Hold on. You think Lane Kiffin going to LSU? It's just going to organically all right, well, let me go get some GAs from this spot that I coached with. No, it doesn't work. He's still going to pull other wide receiver coaches from a different spot.
Actually, that's how it works. Yes.
That's what Coach Prime did. He pulled
no. I'm trying to tell you,
did not work.
So look, you got those guys that came from out of the maybe not. I don't know where Mario Cristobal. I don't know where he came from. But you got guys that
Mario Cristobal came from Miami. He started off as an offensive analyst, then he went to offensive line coach.
I'm talking about who was he under?
He was under Nick Saban as an offensive analyst.
Oh, so Cristobal also came from Nick. So Nick Saban is the biggest tree. He's the mustard seed. He got everything. Yeah. So everybody came from Nick Saban.
Yeah, if you the four coaches,
well, then everybody came from Nick Saban. But think about how they're building their.
The four coaches in the college football playoff that are left right now are all spawned off of Nick Saban. They started with Nick Saban in some form or fashion.
Okay,
so Nick
Saban is the great. He's the great mustard seed. Okay, the biggest tree in the college football world. Now, but look how they're building their systems, though, right? Their systems, you're not hearing every single year these guys are like every year, oh, he's losing this person. They're losing that person. It just doesn't feel like you have a system that you're building because you stop pretending like, oh, I'm here to give guys opportunity. I mean, you can't if y'all did great this year and somebody wants to give your OC a head coaching job, you don't want to stand in the way of that. But bro, every year,
that's not how. But Harry, that's not how it works, man. Harry, if I'm a offensive coordinator on a staff, and let's say we have a very good year, and Harry, you're my agent, and Now you're my agent, and schools are calling you, Harry, to say, hey, we like what J.R. Boxing is doing down there at Colorado as the offensive coordinator. We have an opportunity for him at Wake Forest. Now, how much is he making at Colorado? 1.2 as the offensive coordinator. All right, well, we're willing to offer him $7 million to come be the head coach at Wake Forest. You're my agent, Harry. Your job as my agent is to get that information to me. So now it's up to me as the coach to make the decision. 1.2, 7 million. Most of the time, these coaches are leaving for better opportunity and growth as a coach. Not everybody's sticking around, Harry.
I get it, but if you look around, right? If you look around these major programs, these OCs and the DCs, the winning programs, their OCs and DCs are not leaving every year.
They don't leave every year, Harry, but they leave eventually. I'm gonna give you a prime example of somebody that had it all.
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
Yeah,
but the way that you're making it sound is like, these guys are moving around every year. If you look at Prime, he's lost the OC every single freaking year, bro.
There's two reasons coaches leave. You're either good or you're bad.
For a better opportunity, or you get fired.
So again, I asked you the question. Pat Shurmur. Oh, no, let's not even say Pat Shurmur. Let's say Robert Livingston.
Yeah.
He's a part of Coach Prime's coaching tree, right? He was a DB coach, just kind of middle of the road, NFL kind of career. Now, Coach Prime bringing him in to be the defensive coordinator. Now, if he manages to give up 400 yards, or his defense manages to give up 400 yards again this year on defense, what you expect Coach Prime to do? Keep him around? Dog, you got to figure it out, man. No, you're probably going to oust him and say, we got to get somebody else in here to figure it out. But if Rob Livingston manages to turn the defense around and they go from second to last, now they back to middle of the pack in the NCAA as far as defense, then he sticks around. Then the defense is good again next year. Guess who comes looking for Rob Livingston? Another university. Hey, man, we like what you're doing over here.
Okay,
it's the same thing with Dan Lanning at Oregon right now. Both of his offensive coordinators are leaving. Both. They've been there 2 years. They're leaving.
But aren't they leaving to go coach other teams?
To be head coaches, yes. But they're leaving.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
But
either you're really good.
Do you think that this is an anomaly that this year? Hey, look, how many programs opened up this year? You don't. This is. I don't know any other year that we've had this many programs open up for a head coaching job. Like this is a lot. This is like a lot. It's like almost every freaking top 10 program was a head coaching job open.
And then the crazy thing is, even when you win, you can still leave. I.e., the coach at Penn State got a winning record. Penn State was like, yeah, ain't good enough, dog.
Bro, Jimbo Fisher, the dude was winning when he left, when they fired him.
Yeah, well, yeah. He had a winning record on totality and won the game before they fired him.
Right.
And they still fired. So, I mean, it just, and look, you can be Lane Kiffin and leave on a high note. You left a college football playoff team to go to LSU. Ole Miss could have matched that money as far as paying him, but he knew because his agent, hey man, they gonna offer you this, so you can take this, and guess what? You get a better talent pool of players. State of Louisiana, pound for pound, grosses the best football talent. You get this. We got this many boosters there compared to Ole Miss. Like all of it now is a marketing game. That's why Dillingham standing on the steps of Arizona State saying somebody cut a $25 million check. Signetti getting it off. He's a really good coach, but $60 million really helps. It really helps.
Of course, that's what I'm saying. But then, okay. First of all, I can't ride with the whole Prime is a good tree. I can't ride with that because he's not. He's just. It's just you. There ain't no way you can make an argument that Prime is a good football coaching tree. I think he's one of the worst trees. If that's the case, then he's one of the worst trees in the business.
TC Taylor won the Celebration Bowl after he left. That not a good tree. Prime couldn't win the Celebration Bowl. He
But
left
wasn't
Jackson
TC
State.
wasn't TC under Prime?
Yes, TC was under Prime. He
Right, but
left Jackson State, left TC Taylor to be planted there at Jackson State. The following year, TC Taylor wins the Celebration Bowl. Something Coach Prime couldn't do. That not a
right, but
tree?
what I'm saying is like when it comes to like the way that like the way he loses guys every single year, and then sometimes mid-season, I feel like either he's not building the tree the right way, or if he's the tree, then his branches are rotten. I don't know. He's a fig tree, but I can't ride with that. But something's wrong with that tree. If you can't figure out a way to at least keep guys in place so that the recruiting can work out. You know, we had Shador, we had Travis Hunter.
That I agree. I agree with you on that.
We don't know how to just keep the tree from falling apart every year. You know, if you're a good tree, you can't fall apart every year.
I think from Jackson State, he started a really good tree, and it got weathered over the course of time. It didn't go through all 4 seasons as his maturation process went along to Colorado.
Right.
Because everybody was saying everybody was saying it was hard. Like, all right, you get to Colorado, boom, and I'm bringing all these position coaches with me. We was like, well, where the coordinators at? Oh, the coordinators staying at Jackson State. Damn, okay. So, you bring in the one offensive coordinator with you that was an offensive coordinator before on your staff. So, he must gonna make that white guy. I forget his name, but the tight ends coach, Bartolone. Oh, he must gonna make Bartolone the offensive coordinator. But he didn't. So then that was kind of like a head scratcher, like, okay, so he going with a different offensive coordinator now?
Yeah.
Wow. And so that's when it, now it's starting to like, you're working backwards now.
But that's what I'm saying. So how can you be a good tree?
Coaches.
How can you be a good tree when people scratching their heads about your fruit?
But that's what I'm saying. When I say,
are you a grape tree? Are you an apple tree? What kind of tree are you?
When I say
look at you, I can't tell what kind of fruit you're producing.
when I say tree, I'm thinking about from the inception of the tree. Everybody just looking at his tree now from Colorado and like, oh, that's a terrible tree. No, the inception of his tree started off really well. Jackson State, he did an unbelievable job at Jackson State. Won a lot of games at Jackson State. Grew a lot of coaches into different positions at Jackson State. A lot of coaches then left Jackson State to go to other places to be position coaches from that tree at Jackson State. Now, you move to Colorado, and instead of just bringing the entire staff, that should have just been the MO. Just bring the entire staff, like how we would say to D-Lou. D-Lou, I need you. I know UM is your alma mater. I need you, dog. I need you. He didn't do that for Jackson State staff. He didn't say I needed everybody. He left a lot of people behind.
But he's
Dupree, to me, it's still a good tree.
Dupree is saying that he had talent, which we had to throw that into the part of the argument, is that you can mask a lot of deficiencies when one side is working properly. So if you have the talent, then the coaching tree could be a fig tree, or it could be some type of confused tree, that's producing grapefruits and grapes.
Absolutely. Look at Ryan.
And you can mask that. So it is possible that a lot of things get masked, but you start picking it apart once they're losing. Again, we come full circle.
Look at Ryan Day. Look at Ryan Day at Ohio State.
Uh-huh.
He took over the Ohio State job from Urban Meyer.
Okay.
You got handed a perfectly constructed tree. They dog walk in Michigan every year. They rival up north. So they dog walking them. They getting good recruits every year. Urban Meyer left him a great tree.
Uh-huh.
Ryan Day gets the tree. He loses 3 straight to Michigan. He goes to the college football playoff. He now 2-4 after winning the national championship last year. But before that, he was what, 1-3? Yeah, he was 1-3 before winning the championship last year. Against I think it was like top 5 opponents or something like that. He's 0-4 or something like that. It's some crazy
So
statistical
what are you
stat.
saying that what are you saying then about history? Then what are you saying?
What I'm saying, history, you can say like, okay, what was his tree as strong as it should have been, or was it just talent?
Or was
Right?
it a great
Talent
organization?
counts.
It's a blue blood. Like all that.
No,
That's not a blue blood.
if I leave you something,
Ohio State is
and
not a blue blood.
it's a blue blood. It's a blue blood. But if I leave you something in place, Harry, and it immediately goes down upon your exception, you tainting it a little bit. We beat
So
Michigan.
Alabama got tainted by what's the name?
Yes, Kalen DeBoer. Yes, they're tainted, dog. Yes.
So
Can he not turn it
aren't you
around?
associating some of his?
Tainted.
You gotta attribute some of his success to the fact that they were already a blue blood. Because if somebody puts you in a great company, right? If you're taking over a great company, but you are a terrible CEO, that company may produce, they might produce for a little while until they start realizing that you're a terrible person, and then you're going to burn it down to the ground. But initially, you'll look like you're a good CEO when you take over because you're just inheriting what the blue blood has already built, right?
So you inherit. So that's what I'm saying. Does that make Ryan Day an excellent tree? Doesn't make him an excellent tree. He just got a blue blood program.
Is that the criteria to be an excellent tree, or to be a good leader that can maintain the tree or maintain whatever was given to you? You don't have to be excellent. You can just
if he keeps winning off of talent, nobody will ever question if his tree is good or not.
Whose tree did he come from? Is he another Saban guy?
No, Ryan Day, no. I think Ryan Day initially started. I'll have to go back and look. But he didn't start under Saban.
So he's not a Saban guy. But would you say that Ryan Day,
Urban Meyer guy?
Would you say that he comes from the fraternity, the coaching fraternity, to where he can pick up the phone and get a head coaching, a former head coach to come and play, to come and coach for him at a position coach? That's when you know that you got a great organization or a great coach. If he can pick up the phone and call a former head coach to come and coach a position, I look at that as like, dang, like you got it. You know what I'm saying? If I can call Jimbo Fisher and be like, yo, I need a lines coach, I need you to come in here.
But yeah, you coaching at a blue blood, so that stands behind. That's definitely the backing you need to say, hey, Matt Patricia, I know you was a former NFL coach. I need you to come here to coach here the defense at Ohio State. Matt Patricia, like, sure, man, I'm down. I'll do it. Blah blah blah. Now they
can Coach Brown do that? Can Coach Brown call a head coach to do that? To come, a former college football head coach to come and position coach for him. Can he do that?
I mean, well, he just did it with Brendan Marion, and he was a head coach.
But he's the
offensive coordinator.
No. That's not the same.
What you mean? You said, okay, Pat Shermer then. Pat Shermer was a former head coach. He called him, Pat, hey man, I need you to come down here. Pat came. Now, whether you say, oh, well, he didn't yield anything, but he called Pat and Pat came for him. That's a relationship that Coach Prime has with Pat Shermer.
Okay.
He called what's his name to come out and help with the quarterbacks over the spring. Everybody thought he was going to be the offensive coordinator or the QB coach. I forget his name. Byron Leftwich. But Byron Leftwich came out there to assist with helping the quarterbacks. He called former Vikings head coach. I forget his name. Great defensive mind. I think he's the defensive coordinator for Cowboys now, if I'm not mistaken. Zimmer. He calls Zimmer to come out, hey man, I need you to come out, help with the defense and stuff like that. Throughout Zimmer came out. So he's able to reach back to people and have them come. He can't get everybody on staff, but he's still able to call because he has relationships. He got NFL ties, NFL relationships. Is it yielding wins? No. If you win, it cures everything.
That's true.
I think
that's what it boils down to. It's just we're hard on Coach Prime, and we can plug holes. And like I said, man, look, you can plug holes when things are not working out. But at the end of the day, man, look, we're gonna keep doing that until Prime finds a way to start winning again, and then we'll start talking him up again. But finally, Ole Miss's quarterback is going to be jumping in the transfer portal. He's probably going to LSU. This is breaking news right here.
Wow.
This is breaking news.
Play. It's the dude Trinidad?
Huh?
Wow. It's the guy Trinidad, the starting quarterback? So I know they got another quarterback on the roster.
No, Austin Simmons.
Oh, no. Well, he'll probably wind up going to, no, I don't think Austin Simmons going to LSU. And the reason why I say that, Austin Simmons started off as the quarterback at Ole Miss, as the starter. He got hurt. Trinidad Chambliss, the current starter for Ole Miss, came in like week 3. Austin Simmons got hurt. Trinidad Chambliss came in week 3. The rest is history. So Austin Simmons looking like, well, yeah, it ain't no space for him here for me, dog. I gotta go. But I don't think he following Lane Kiffin to LSU because he felt some type of way. That dude dad even came out and said, his business is business. It is what it is. Like, it sucks for my son, but we understand the process, So good luck to that. Good luck to that young man. He probably gonna land somewhere good. He'll probably wind up at like Florida or something like that. If I were to guess.
I'm telling you, man. Look, the transfer portal may not get offensive lines and defensive line, but it's that quarterback portal, yo. You'll get good quarterbacks if you got the money. You can get these quarterbacks to come to your program if that's what you need.
I was listening when you were saying the feel about the quarterbacks, and you're right about that. Like, the market for the quarterbacks, I think it's going to get worse in a good way before it gets better. And what I mean by worse in a good way is that these quarterbacks going to be able to hop in this portal, and the money for them is going to continuously go up, 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 up.
It's going to get, and that's where it's going to go until we get contracts for the portal or for players. This, because I think it's getting so bad when you start getting people talking about, look, college is only 4 years, or at least it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
If you're playing for 4 different teams in 4 years, bro, we got to start getting contracts signed. And it can't be these one-way contracts where it only benefits the players.
Yeah. Right now, it's not happening enough. I know Georgia had a lawsuit with a player. They signed him to like a 2-year NIL deal. He stayed 1 year, transferred to Missouri.
Yeah.
And so now Georgia is like suing that player for all of the NIL money. I want to say he went for like $500,000.
Yeah.
Georgia paid him the money, but they only got like, I don't know, maybe $230,000 worth of stuff out of him. And they're like, nope, we want all of the money back. We recouping on the whole contract.
Right.
So I was like, that's crazy.
Once we get contracts going, man, then, maybe some of this transferring every single year situation where guys are like, oh, I see something good happening over there. Let me go over there and go be a part of that. So anyways, let's do final thoughts, man. Let's get up out of here. I appreciate you, brother. Final thoughts.
Yeah, final thoughts, man. Speaking to the NCAA NIL thing, I agree with you, man. It's going to have to be contracts. The lengths of the contract are probably going to have to be 2 to 3 years to have players locked in. Kind of like how they did Bryce Underwood. They put him on a 4-year, $10 million contract. So it's pretty much, if you want to leave, you got to give back that money. So, it is what it is. But, the NCAA has...
Let me... I'm jumping your final thoughts, but, bruh, I thought NIL was for, like, players like the image and likeness. I thought that was actually for players to do stuff like, you know, you do a commercial or you do something, you promote the brand. I didn't realize that the NIL had turned into trying to get a player to just come and play for the team. I didn't know it had turned into that. I thought these things were for you to promote a company or for you to promote a product, and that was what NIL was going to be. It's not.
Yeah, you're right. Initially, it began as promotion of product.
Yeah.
Because I want to say the first like big name that I remember like from like NIL stuff was that dude DJ Uiagalelei. He was like the first one on like a Dr. Pepper commercial, and I was like, what?
Right, you're promoting something, so the money makes sense for you to be promoting something, and then it turned into just trying to get the player to come to your university. So if you got a big donor, a big alumni that has a deep pocket, you're just giving these players, you're just giving away free money. When did it turn into free money? They don't have to do anything.
I don't know how they're doing it, but you know what they say about every crime, follow the money. So there's some type of crime that's happening, bro. They probably taxes or something. There's something looped in with it. I just don't know enough about it. Because I'm like you, Harry. I want return on my investment. Ain't no way. I know I'm a millionaire, but I'm not just giving money. I love my university.
They're giving away money. These kids are not doing nothing for this money because they got to be in school anyway. So
exactly.
They're not promoting no product. They're not doing nothing for this money. When did it turn into just giving them money just to be to the school? I was like, wait, NIL is not what I thought it was going to be. I thought they were promoting something.
Yeah,
but now it's not like about promoting nothing. These kids are just getting paid so that they can play for the university that they were at anyway.
I'm a good steward to my alma mater. But they sent out a NIL request for graduates of the institution, and I'm like, dang, it went up from y'all asking mid-level guys like me from 5,000 to 10,000.
Yeah,
what y'all smoking on, man? I'm not finna send y'all no $10,000, bro. I haven't even been back to the school in 2 years. Why would I send y'all 10,000? But good luck, though. Somebody gonna sit, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, for what? You're just what is happening for that money? Like with that money, like what is the university gonna do for you? Like what exactly is what is the trade-off, bro? You give 10,000 for what?
Yeah, I mean, you get to write it off obviously as a tax expense, but that's why I say it has to be more to it. Because little old me, middle class family, I'm like 10,000, but you can write it off as a tax. Now you don't get all the 10,000 back, but you still write off as a tax. You donate back to school. People write millions of dollars. They funneling money somehow. I don't know how. But I wouldn't be surprised if a 30-30 came out about how NIL was ruined because big boosters started funneling money through the universities some type of way to either avoid paying taxes or to recoup 100% of what they putting back into it, something like that. But who knows?
Right. What that dude is paying? I don't know if it's not Draymond, but that dude is paying. They're giving money to who is it? Who's that basketball player? But they're just giving him money through some type of business, and he's not even doing anything for the money.
Which player? You talking about the winner from BYU?
No. I'm talking about NBA player. What's his name? I know the player. He's Kawhi Leonard. I think Kawhi Leonard.
Oh yeah, Kawhi Leonard. Yep, that's what they said. Yep.
They're just giving him money through some type of business.
They said just some type of like tree fund or something like that. Man ain't planting one tree.
Well,
wrote him like a $60 million bonus. That's crazy.
This ain't gonna end well, bro. I'm telling you, there's gonna be money laundering documentaries that's gonna be coming out because all you gotta do is just say, "Hey, look, man, I got you know, these dirty boosters are gonna start coming in and saying, look, man, I got $100 million in some drug money. I need to wash it up.
Yep.
So is there any way we can like refund that? You give me 10% back.
What was the position coach for CU the first year? It was a white guy, bald guy. I want to say special teams or something like that. But apparently a report, now there's speculation, or I mean not speculation, allegations towards he was something
you talking
with
about the
maybe like UAE or
yeah,
something like that.
I did a video on that. You talking about son? I forget his name, but he was like with the Jewish company and the Mormon companies. He was dealing with all the Mormons.
Yeah, he was like, "Nah, I got you some money right here."
Yeah, he said, "Nah, I got some money."
Nah, we good. And sent him on his way. That man in Hawaii now, so it's something behind it, man. Hey, you heard it first on Harry B, man, on TLP Sports, man.
It's gonna happen.
30 for 30 come out. They need to give you your credit, man. You said it first.
It's gonna. There's been a lot of firsts here, but we're not trying to pound our chest too much, because we know how the game works. So, hey, man, I appreciate you coming on today, man. Happy New Year's, man. Let's enjoy what's ahead of us, man.
Oh, for sure, man. Happy New Year to you and your family, bro.
All right, man. You take care. Peace.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys, man. Look, y'all know that I'm not doing mad videos like I used to because I'm not trying to work for free, but I got to keep this community vibrant, and I'm working on a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and I will show y'all as soon as it happens. Y'all, man, I appreciate you. Feel so real. Everybody that's in the chat, everybody that's listening, even if you didn't have time to join the chat, I appreciate your supporting TLP Sports Club. I got a lot of things planned. Hopefully, YouTube, you can give me an opportunity to start making money with y'all again. But the way you're handling your business is not right. That you eat and I don't eat, and I'm providing you content and you just eating off my content, and I'm supposed to sit back for 3 months and just wait for you to do whatever you think it is. I don't know how you came up with 3 months where you're like putting me on probation for 3 months. And then I get to reapply. Is that some type of government thing? Or is that something that you came up with and you think that's fair? Because if I'm feeding my family, I don't have 3 months to wait to feed my family. If this is my only way to feed my family, something ain't right, because you didn't give me an opportunity to know what was coming down the pipeline, and you just, boom, you just took it all away. You playing God, and that ain't right. Anyways, I'm going to see y'all community, the TLP folks. I'll see y'all on the next one. God bless. Peace.